I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss, see. I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Choke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see, matter of fact.
Cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it. I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it.
I wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss, see. I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python, grab what I like real fast.
What up, man?
Everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see, matter of fact.
Trapaholics Mixtapes.
As the 9% and word would say, make a better you, a better us.
Give them what they ask for.
Who do you think you are? I'm the word.
bull, man. I'm the one who put it with.
When I move, it's an earthquake rumble. I won't ever ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.
What up, though? It's the word. You see the title. We about to get into it. But before we do that, do me a favor. Hit that like. But if you're new, hit that subscribe, man. It's free to you, but it mean the world to me. And with that being said, let me get it to the check. Let me get it to the check. Dee Dee. Dee. What up, though? What up, though, Dee Dee? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, sis. Shout out to Didi. Hey, before we start the show, man, I want to give a special shout out to my brother-in-law, man. He just had his acceptance letters. He's about to be a professor at a university. This young man, bro, I'm so proud of him, man. He's special, man. You know, when he met my sister, my sister had a goal. She was on her path to become get her PhD. She wanted to be a doctor ever since we was little. She wanted to be a doctor or something, right? So he supported her and he stopped going to school for a while. They started a family in the midst of her pursuing her PhD, and he held it down. He held it down. And then right when she was about to achieve her goal, he started on his path, went back to school, uh, got his degree, and now all his hard work pay off. Just everything he sacrificed for the family, but he still achieved his goal. And that's very unique. Because a lot of times when people stop stuff, they don't start it back up. But he didn't give up. His resilience is amazing. His ignorance to failure is probably comparable to mine or beyond it. Honestly, um, obstacles to him are opportunity. Like we say, that boy built different, and I'm proud of him. And this is just the beginning, bro. This is just the beginning. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. Shout out to my brother-in-law, man. I love you, man. I'm proud of you. I'm proud to say I'm your brother-in-law. I'm not just proud of you. I'm proud, to be attached to you, bro. Black excellence is great, bro. It's great being part of that. You know what I'm saying? Uh, he just carrying on the tradition, man. Came from nothing and made something out of himself, man. Accomplished the things that people only dream of. Shout out to my brother-in-law, man. Love you, boy. But yeah, so today we are talking about people needing to belong. Like that's the basic desire of people, right? We all have that. That's why we want families. That's why we want friends. That's why we look for acceptance outside that parameter. Even on social media now, people want views. That's attention. But they want to belong to a group. So that's not bad. But what tends to happen is when you integrate yourself into a group, you you begin to accept that group's ideology, right? And sometimes those ideologies might go against your own personal beliefs, but because you want to be part of that group, uh, you're willing to sacrifice that, right? And that can be dangerous. That's the unique thing about over here at the Nine, right? And I intentionally, right, is intentional. I don't try to indoctrinate no one to my own beliefs. I love free thinkers, right? I think we need more of them. I think that's what makes us grow is the individual aspect. Because if we all the same, then I can't learn nothing from you, right? I love diversity. So over here at the Nine, I promote that individuality while being in a collective, right? Because we are a group. We're a group, but we share some beliefs, but we still have our own individuality, and we don't press one another for our own individuality. Like, so that's what makes this group unique. But what happens is when you put yourself in those boxes, then you got to adhere to what the identity of that box is. What that box represents, now you become a piece of that, right? And a lot of times that can be dangerous because anything going against the social norm that could be better or might be better because of that group thinking is bad for them. So we go review a video about Plato and Socrates back in Roman time. the Stoic times, rather, if you will. We will review it, and I don't know if y'all know the stories about Socrates, how he got found guilty, and ultimately had to drink hemlock. That was his sentence. They sentenced him to death. He had to drink hemlock, which was a poison, and I got him up out of there because he went against the social construct. That he went against it, you know. And when you normally when you go against what people believe in, that's when people tend to get violent. Right? That's when shit go awry. So we go review that video, and then the panel, the link is pinned, but we will review that video and see how group thinking led to the downfall of Socrates. All right, let me pull it up. All right, let me pull it up and start that before I do this. I have the link to the video in the uh, description after the show. I didn't put it on there. I was rushing doing it. How can I make that bigger for y'all? Let me see if I can make that bigger for y'all. I don't know what that is. I don't usually go vertical. I'll probably do that shit. I'll get it in 1 second. Yeah, we gonna rock out like that. But here we go.
Of people simultaneously believe the same obvious lies? Why do intelligent individuals, when gathered in groups, consistently make decisions that seem utterly irrational? And why does this pattern repeat throughout history with such devastating precision that you can predict exactly when societies will choose comfortable deception over uncomfortable reality? Right now, as you're watching this, billions of people across the globe are actively choosing deception over truth. They're not stupid. They're not ignorant. They're not victims of manipulation. They're making calculated psychological decisions to embrace lies because truth threatens something more precious to them than reality itself. Their sense of belonging, their identity, their entire understanding of who they are. This isn't a modern phenomenon born of social media echo chambers or political polarization. This isn't about fake news or conspiracy theories or partisan propaganda. This is the fundamental architecture of human psychology, identified over 2,000 years ago by a philosopher who watched his entire civilization commit intellectual suicide in real time. Plato witnessed something that should terrify anyone who understands its implications. He watched the execution of Socrates, the wisest man in Athens, voted to death by a democratic mob who preferred.
And see, this is what I'm talking about too, right? When I did plenty of shows like why people like beautiful lies versus ugly truths, right? And that's just in general, but the psychology behind it. Right? If you This is why I talk about the things I talk about, because if you ain't controlling the way you think and feel, someone else is. That's just reality, right? And they figured this out a long time ago. Long time ago. This ain't nothing new. This is not nothing new, right? They've been new to this, and this is how they play on people. So if you ain't controlling the way you think and the way you feel, somebody else will. And that's what these social constructs is. That's what race, religion, that's what politics, all these things you identify with outside yourself depletes the inside yourself. The more you identify with things outside of you, the less you identify with you than your actual self.
their comfortable allusions to his uncomfortable questions. That moment revealed a truth about human nature so disturbing that most people still refuse to accept it today. If you want to understand why societies collapse, why democracies fail.
My bad, I ain't see my people. D-Step, what it do, my brother? What it do with the businesses? Chris, what it do, brother? Appreciate you, fam. Appreciate you. Hey, if y'all want to hit the link is on the community wall. This video is a little lengthy. I don't know if we can watch the whole thing, but I just want to I just want to let this marinate in your brain real quick before we fill you on
why
conversation.
intelligent people believe absurd things, why rational civilizations make irrational choices, you need to understand what Plato discovered about crowds, truth, and the psychology of collective self-deception. Subscribe now because what you're about to learn will fundamentally change how you see human behavior, social movements, political systems, and the hidden forces that determine whether civilizations survive or
And
destroy
this is a
themselves.
dope channel,
The
bro.
year was
This is a real dope channel. Y'all
399.
go subscribe to this, man. Especially if y'all like the things that I talk about. Go subscribe to me. It's called Depth Architect. Depth Architect. Y'all go subscribe to Depth Architect. They got some. If you like psychology and philosophy, this is a real dope channel. They articulate it better than me. I can admit that. They articulate it better than me. They more poetic with it. I just get to the meat. I get straight to the chicken, right? But yeah, y'all shout out to them, man. Y'all go check them out.
BCE. Athens, the birthplace of democracy, the crown jewel of ancient civilization, the most intellectually advanced society in human history, had just committed an act of collective insanity. They had sentenced Socrates to death. Not for murder, not for treason, not for corruption, for asking questions that made people uncomfortable. Think about this for a moment. The most advanced civilization of its time chose to execute its wisest citizen because he insisted on examining their beliefs, challenging their assumptions, forcing them to think clearly about their most cherished convictions. The crowd that condemned him wasn't composed of ignorant peasants or bloodthirsty barbarians. These were educated.
One of the greatest minds in history was eliminated by asking a goddamn question. That's what happened when that group thing where you challenge someone's belief and they can't rebuttal. That's all happened. People believe in shit they can't explain. And when you challenge that shit, people they get angry. They get because now you're taking them out their comfort zone. Now you're making them question themselves. And you get a group of people who don't want to question themselves versus one person, what you think they're gonna do? They're gonna silence them. That's what they did to Socrates.
Citizens, accomplished philosophers, successful politicians, respected intellectuals, the cultural elite of their era. Yet when forced to choose between wisdom and comfort, between truth and belonging, between reality and their collective illusions, they chose to kill the truth-teller. Plato watched this happen. He saw his teacher, the most rational person he knew, destroyed by a supposedly rational society that couldn't tolerate rational inquiry. And in that moment, Plato understood something profound about crowds that we're only beginning to appreciate in our interconnected age. Crowds don't seek truth. They seek validation. They don't want reality. They want confirmation of what they already believe. They don't value wisdom. They value consensus. And they will systematically destroy anyone who threatens their collective delusions, no matter how intelligent, how moral, or how beneficial those challenges might be.
We're talking over 2,000 years ago, and this still goes on today. This still go on today. Why? Because it's human behavior. Simple as that. Human behavior, bro. But people use this to their advantage now, right? This is used to their advantage.
This insight became the foundation of everything Plato wrote about politics, education, human nature, and the conditions necessary for a just society. He realized that democracy, as Athens practiced it, contained a fatal flaw. It assumed that truth could be determined by majority opinion, that wisdom was somehow democratically distributed, that crowds were capable of making rational decisions about.
Hold on, I hear somebody in the back. Oh, 1 second. Let's see. Okay, I don't know who this is, but I'm gonna let you up. Give me 1 second.
Who it is?
What up, though?
What's happening? You know who this is, man. Don't play funny.
Oh, this shut?
You already know.
Bro, I can't even see, bro. I see
No,
be
no,
me,
I know
and
you
then
can't see shit. That's why I just chose to speak first.
oh, now I got my
No, we
glasses
good.
on.
Go ahead, do your thing, man. I'm gonna interject with you.
Oh, you rocking with the video? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanna pick your brain too because
Oh yeah,
it's like I
you know
already
how we
know.
do
I already know your feel. Like it's
it.
not you. You know you stand on your own too. So
I
you know what
do.
I'm saying. So
I
it's
definitely do.
interesting to I want you to hear this and then because I know you can get some
You know
insight.
why I'm related to.
Exactly. Let me play a little bit more. We ain't go. I don't think I'm gonna play the whole thing because it's like 20
Nah,
something
do what
minutes
you gotta
long. But,
do, bro. Do what you do.
oh, for sure.
complex
I'm ready.
realities. But here's what makes Plato's analysis even more devastating. He discovered that crowds don't just accidentally prefer lies to truth. They systematically, predictably, inevitably choose lies because lies serve psychological functions that truth cannot provide. Truth is isolating. It separates you from the group. It makes you individually responsible for your beliefs and actions. It forces you to confront uncomfortable realities about yourself, your society, your limitations, your mortality. Truth demands intellectual courage, emotional maturity, and moral independence that most people haven't developed and don't want to develop. Lies are communal. They bind groups together through shared belief. They provide instant identity, immediate purpose, automatic belonging. They protect people from having to face difficult.
You see, I always associate truth to accountability, right? And the reason I do that is because when you really look at situation, it's two parts of it. Is what you did or what you is you, and then it's outside of you. And the only thing you can truly control is you, and that's the truth. Right? That's all you can control in a situation is you. So, I mean,
Facts.
just that being accountable for self, man, I look at that as true. And what he said is most people don't want to, they lazy, bro. They don't want to be accountable for self. Everything they go through, they want to blame it on something else. And that shit is comfortable to them because they don't have to look at how they fucked up and how they can do better. They don't have to look at that. That shit ugly, bro.
But that also, if you don't mind me expounding on what you just said, that also correlates to groups, not a group, but groups of people, ethnicities doing the same thing, not wanting to take accountability for their actions, or at least the actions of those that they have some kind of influence on. And that's why we are such a discord, such a such a fucked up situation that we're in, because no one chooses to take accountability for the actions of not only themselves but the people that they are, surrounded by. If we held each other accountable, and when we say hold each other accountable, that's a cold little statement, right? Because
Hmm.
not everyone that you say you can hold yourself accountable, but not everyone is gonna accept accountability for you calling them out, for the actions that they chose that have led to whatever circumstances or situations that they find themselves in.
And when they don't accept accountability, like what you supposed to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, growing up in the hood, you put paws on them, bro. You know what I'm saying? But now that you can't do nothing like that. But and I mean, in like the law, and that's how you get held accountable. But like you said, in our communities, in our families, and shit, people got to accept accountability to receive accountability from other people. They first got to be willing to accept it from themselves. And a lot of people ain't trying to do that. Man.
Accountability is basically, in some people's eyes, like, owning guilt, owning, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And people don't want to own that, because the people don't want to own the guilt that they actually have. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Because it's like guilt is being guilty of whatever
Mm-hmm.
messed up stuff that you're doing. And regardless of what your intentions were, you can have the best intentions of said guilt or accountability, but if you're not gonna own it, then it never meant shit in the first place. That's how I see it.
Yeah, yeah. So my bad, but I'm trying to turn your mic in. Bro.
No, you know you good.
Yeah,
And I know
shit,
it's been
shit,
a minute,
oh.
man. Man, salute, big salute to you, word, because you are one of the few that really speak the truth without any kind of biasness. You don't take sides. Your sides, as far as all the time I've been dealing with you, you only take sides in what's true and what's not true. And it's not about taking sides. You only look at what's true and what's not true. And depending on who tends to look at things a certain way, they pick the sides. That makes them disagree or agree. And you know what I'm saying? Not everybody has the same truth though. But you've only done what you speak, which is the word, bro. And I appreciate you for that.
I appreciate you. That's just confirmation that I look at you like a big bro. Bro. I really do. Um, I look at you like a big bro. So your words hold weight with me. But if you real, bro, I like it's not. I like the way I grew up and this experience life, bro. I seen more fake than more real. So when I see the real, bro, I ain't got nothing but gratitude and appreciation for it. And
Right.
that coming from you, bro, is big. It's really big, man. I appreciate that, man. I really
No,
appreciate that, man,
I
because
appreciate you because you remember the very first comment I ever made with your name in it.
that was a real shit, though. That's what like, bro, that's what I'm saying, man. Like what you just said, I look at what is good. I look at reality, right? And when I read that, bro, it was funny, bro. It was funny as hell. And I'm looking
But you
like,
knew you
bro,
knew
this
it was
can't
it
be.
was only
It's
meant to
too,
be funny.
bro. It
There
was,
was
it
truth
was
to there
too.
was truth in it. There was truth in it.
Yeah,
But the
that's what.
humor of it all was like
That's what made it. That's what made it funny because, bro, right before you said that, I was literally saying that. Like, and it was so many people telling me this, bro. It's like it's not. So by you using facts, bro, like it was like when I read it, I just started cracking up, bro. And I'm like Anton Tay getting mad. I'm like,
We
bro, this
grown.
shit funny, man. Like it's not like he ain't serious, man. Like he's serious, but it's not like he's saying it out of malice. He just telling the fucking truth. He articulated it in his way. That shit real, bro. My wife be saying that. Like she be like, "Don't talk to me when we driving. I don't want to hear you telling no lecture. I'm gonna fall asleep at the wheel." I'll be like, "Man, shut up." so So I mean, what you saying? I mean,
nah,
but
and
it wasn't out of malice, bro. So and I see people intent, bro.
nah.
That's what I look for is intent when I interact with people, and I've never felt any malice intent from you, but it's just all been real. Like said something, you said something. You know what I'm saying? If you said it, then you said it, and that's how you that's how you think and that's how you feel. You can't do nothing but respect
but,
that. Like shit.
but then
If Shep said it, he meant that shit, bro. Y'all better take heed to that shit. And Shep cool as hell, but if he say something, then he said it. Like that's what it is. That's all it's gonna be.
I don't like the fact that Gary Brown has changed his name. I don't like that at all. They don't ask me
Mm.
about bedtime. Well, hell, it might be bedtime since it ain't busted down no more.
What he under sports chat
Nah, under Gary Brown, 6338.
for real? That might not be Gary
Yeah,
then, bro.
it's gotta be.
He got
That's
a
the
wrench.
only. I mean, yeah, he got
If
a
he ain't got
wrench.
a
That's why he got a wrench. That's why I'm like he
Gary.
the only. That's yeah. It's busted down, Gary Brown.
No, where the hell you change your name, Gary? I just noticed that. Oh no,
That's
bro.
crazy. It don't even
Oh
seem
no,
like a
Bronze.
white
What up,
person no
though?
more.
Dolly, what up? I apologize. I ain't see y'all.
Man, salute to everyone coming in. Um, Bronze Flat Power, you know I've been rocking with you for a long time, bro. Um, and one thing I can appreciate about certain people that are here that I've known from other chats is there are times that we can agree to disagree without any kind of real discord.
Hmm.
Okay, shit, you got your opinion, I got mine, but it doesn't make either of us bad people.
Hmm.
And that's one of the biggest problems. Like what you with back to the topic, um, that was like the biggest thing with Socrates and Plato. Okay, everyone as we know them, uh, give them credit for a lot of things that they never really instituted because they brought it to what I would consider the Western world, but they
Yeah,
went abroad into Africa to study
yeah,
these things and learn these things, but they never gave like how if you're in college or something and you have to write a term paper, you have to state your you know
sources.
thank you, and they never did that. They just said fuck it because they never thought that the Kemet society would never be about anything outside of Africa, and they took it and brought it over to Greece, brought it over to Rome, and used it as their own. So it makes me wonder in real time what what else is there that they've stolen from other societies.
And I will I am going to speak up for Socrates though. I think when it comes to Socrates, the reason he's never shown given credit is because the historian. To be honest with you, because if you look at his journals, Socrates said, "Ain't no one educate me but the people from Egypt." He stated that, like, y'all can't teach me shit,
Okay,
only them.
okay. I never
So I
knew that
give
about
credit
him.
to
I'll give him
Socrates.
that.
I haven't
Okay,
seen
yeah,
anything about anybody else, so
yeah.
I can't say that. But Socrates said that ain't nobody educate them but the people from Egypt. He said that in his
Okay,
journal.
well, yeah, I definitely take that back then about him because the rest of them they're now whether it's okay. So let me kind of revamp the statement that I just made as far as Socrates is concerned, and just say, well, there are a lot of those philosophers from Greece, from Rome, that are credited with being the fathers of Stoicism and the whole 9 yards that didn't get that from, they didn't come up with those philosophies on their
Concept,
own.
you know? Nope.
So, but they never gave credit to where it came from. And that's the problem that we have today. We
Hmm.
have a lot of people that we follow and really look up to a certain extent, to certain extents, and hold in high regards more so that their whole ideal system is not theirs, and but you would never know that because they would never tell you that this is where, instead of saying, yeah, I believe this way because I studied the works of X, Y, and Z. You feel me?
Now, and that's, I mean, bro, I mean that's been going on since. I mean, we could just study it. Like
Plagiarism,
even
that's the
on
word
here,
I was
bro,
looking for.
plagiarism. Like even on here, bro, people be taking my shit, bro. I'd be like, all right, bro. Like you can't even get me, you know. And I always say where I get my shit from. I tell people
Oh
what I
no, yeah,
study,
definitely.
how I
You give us the
formed the
blueprint,
idea.
but you, not to cut you off, and I don't mean my bad, but you've
Oh no, you
always
good, bro.
given us the blueprint of where everything that you talk about came from, so that we can look it up for ourselves and come up to our own
Mm-hmm.
conclusions. And that makes it easier for somebody to really agree or disagree. Because now not
Mm-hmm.
only are we are not only are we listening to what you said, but we're getting it from the horse's mouth, so to speak. And not then when we hear it from the horse's mouth, we can even expand on what was being said, because now we're reading their philosophies, or their beliefs, their belief systems, for our own, with our own eyes. And yeah, I always give you credit for that, bro. You one of the reasons that you're part of the reason, rather I say, not you're part of the reason that I look at things the way I do.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. Because it's always like people, so many people, you, Gary, like y'all older than me, right? So I pick up so much stuff from y'all, man. Just like stuff that I know, but you give me an example of how to do it better. Like even your
Right.
humility, bro. Like even your humility, you showed me a way that I can be humble and still be me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to be. I could be unapologetically humble. That's how I look at you.
Yes.
Like Deep, just he himself, but he a humble guy. But he gonna tell you what it is, and if it's your feeling, that's like me and Gary would be like, feelings don't trump. Well, Gary would say your intent don't trump feelings, and I'd be like, well, your feelings don't trump my intent, right? And a lot of that just interacting with you, I got a deeper understanding of what that means. So I
Hey,
appreciate you too, my brother. But that's what we
wow.
supposed to
I
do, bro.
thank
We
you.
supposed to
Iron
inspire,
sharpens
motivate
iron, man.
one another, bro.
Iron sharpens iron. And no
That's what it's
matter
supposed to be.
what level the iron is, once the iron gets to sharpening the iron, it doesn't matter because we all come together on the same, aspect or the same plane, the same level. And some it doesn't come without, a friction at times. That's the whole process. When you're sharpening something that's similar or the same as you, but maybe not the exact same, there's friction. There's going to be friction until we get the understanding of each other. And once we get to know
Hmm.
each other, like what you spoke on, you know that yeah, I talk shit. I crack jokes, but when I say what I say, I mean what I say, and I don't take it back. And if anybody chose, those that have chose to actually look at what the facts that I speak or look them up more so, they'll be like, damn, yeah, he's saying in such a fucked up way. And it was funny. Some of the time, most of the
Right.
time it's funny. But I'm stating facts. And but at the end of the day, I'm not taking it back. And when you can, like with yourself, like we stated earlier, you give the and forgive me, it's kind of late, but forgive me for not stating the right term, but when you put it out there where you got it from, and people can look it up, but there are those that don't want to look it up because they just want to see something wrong or find something wrong, because emotions do override logic over 90% of the time.
I do, bro. And I do that intentionally because one first thing, I don't know. Bro, I don't fucking know everything. I really don't. So I can see something and formulate an idea, but it can be wrong. So I always give like sources where I get it from, so people can go look at it and come back and challenge me if they see something different. And that ain't gonna do nothing but make me articulate. I'm confident in what the fuck I do, even my ideas. Even if I'm wrong, I'm confident enough to admit that shit and learn what's right. So I don't mind being wrong. I ain't one of the people like who my ego is my I created my ego. My ego ain't
Hmm.
created me. So I
Yes.
mean, I got my shit in check. So if I'm wrong, I'm just fucking wrong. What's right? Okay, let's get it right. I can admit that I'm wrong. I have no problem with that. So that's why I do it. And even I tell people, I'd be like, "Look, you can come up here and challenge me. I don't like if you don't believe. Okay, cool. We can have a discussion. But people be wanting to debate, so we can do that too. I'd be like, shit, we can do it too. But I don't. I be with the fact, bro. I don't care about how you feel about nothing. I
Hmm.
really don't. I don't really give a flying frisbee how people feel about things when it comes to fact. You can talk about your feelings at home. On here, we gonna talk about the facts. How about that?
And
That's how I be feeling.
you've
Like when
held
I'm in discussion
you
about
you've
information.
held very close. You've held. I mean, when I say very, I mean very in a matter of fact manner that you stick to the facts. There are things that I've looked up just without me saying, "Hey, word, I looked this shit up and you were right." It's not that I didn't believe you were right. I just wanted to see it for myself so that I can turn around and re-quote or restate what you said and put it in my own, words. And for that, I'm very, very grateful to you, man, because you open my eyes to a lot of things and more so that there are places on this app that people can actually sit and have a fucking conversation instead of an argument, or what I'm saying,
Mm.
be caught up in the worldly shit that, in the materialistic shit, I won't say which is kind of flows hand in hand, but we talk about things that really matter because at the end of the day, if you don't know, it's not because it's ignorance. You've heard it, you just chose not to listen.
And that's how I be, bro. I don't want to get too lost though, but man, shit, man, you
No,
can
no,
talk
no,
all day. Let me
most
play a little
definitely,
bit of the
man.
video.
I'm here. Just man, go ahead, continue with the content, and when you take a break, and yeah, I'm here for you, man. I'm here with you.
I appreciate you, fam. I appreciate you.
Questions about their lives, their choices, their failures, their fears. Lies offer the illusion of certainty in an uncertain world, the comfort of simple answers to complex problems. When a crowd is forced to choose between truth and belonging, between reality and identity, between facts and community, between wisdom and validation, they choose belonging every single time. Not because they can't recognize truth, but because they value other things more than truth. This is why conspiracy theories spread faster than scientific facts. This is why political movements succeed through emotional manipulation rather than rational argument. This is why social media algorithms amplify outrage and confirmation bias rather than nuanced thinking. This is why even highly educated people believe obviously false things when those beliefs serve their tribal identity. Plato saw this pattern playing out in ancient Athens, and he understood that it would continue playing out throughout history wherever crowds were given power to determine truth, wherever popularity was confused with validity, wherever consensus was mistaken for wisdom. Consider how this dynamic manifests in contemporary society. Look at how information spreads through social networks. People don't share content because it's accurate, well-researched, or intellectually rigorous.
People gonna get mad at this one. They probably gonna get pissed off that I said this, but this is just my opinion. Like when people was comparing Charlie Kirk to MLK, I'm looking like, bro, you feeling some shit right now. You and your feelings, bro. I mean, the only comparison is they got, assassinated. But other than that, bro, you ain't comparing them two people. One was preaching
They
hate
both
towards
they had well, go ahead. I'm listening on that one because
you had
yeah,
one like you. I mean, even if you want to say, I mean, the softest way I can say it is the extent that Charlie Kirk criticized groups of people. MLK never did that. He always preached unity and connectiveness. That's what MLK preached. He brought people
now
together.
can I
Charlie
can I play
separated
the
people.
devil's advocate?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I've watched. See, the problem with how the masses receive the death of Charlie Kirk is that the masses never even knew of Charlie Kirk, never listened or never followed any of his debates, and they got their information out of clips taken out of context. A a lot of those. Now, the only thing I will fault Charlie Kirk for in everything that he spoke on is sometimes he used black people on, but it wasn't his fault because people never were. They only hear his side of what the argument was. They never understood or even given or what I'm saying. They were never introduced. That's the word I'm trying to find. They were never introduced to what made him say what he said when it came to black people. So in other words, they don't know the other side of the argument. What made him even bring black people up? He didn't just bring black people up out of the blue. It was always one of those people that had the argument. And I hate to say it, but 85 to 90% of the people, and I've watched a lot of his, I've followed him closely, but 85 to 90% of the people that brought up the arguments concerning black people were white. The white people the black people that actually had the arguments about certain situations, they looked at and they agreed with him when it was over, when the debate was over. He never spewed anything out of hate. He never spewed anything or was disrespectful to any of the people that he was debating, no matter how disrespectful they tried to come at him. And for the man to be considered racist, nobody ever showed the clips where there was one in particular that really stands out in my head where there was a young black woman that had her baby in one of those things that you carry on the front of you,
Hmm.
and
The harnesses.
the first thing that came out of his mouth was, "Oh, is that your child?" And she was like, "Yes." And she said, "Oh," he said, that's a beautiful baby, and you're a beautiful mother." And went on to basically say how beautiful her family was. I don't know a racist that would give that kind of credit to a black person, whether it be in the face of a camera or out of the face of a camera. A racist is gonna stick to racism. They don't like us. They don't want us around. They hate the color of our skin. Now, if you can tell me any racist that you know that basically spoke to anyone of any other color, specifically black, and told a black person how beautiful the family that they had was, man, I bow down.
And see, that's why, like, I always choose my words wisely. Like, even I think I might have called him a racist or say he had racist tendencies. Definitely prejudiced. I can argue that he was a bigot too. I can argue that. I
Okay,
wouldn't put the jacket on him though. Racist. Wouldn't put that jacket
but
on. But
a lot of. Go ahead, go ahead. I'm
this my
sorry.
thing. Especially like in today's age, this my thing. Like I feel like like it's okay to criticize people, but to use stereotypes to criticize people, to use unfactual things to criticize people, bro, it's like to me, it's like you're standing on them old narratives, bro. And it's
Fact,
like
no,
just
no,
something like when he's saying black people are more prone to be violent. Like, bro, statistics don't even show that, bro. And if you do, let's talk about why. We can talk about why they like that
that that's
versus,
that's
but
that's that's the,
but
and
it's
you're
like look
absolutely
at
right.
yourself in the mirror first. Like, why is you criticizing the people? Like, even if you say black people commit the most murder, right? My question is this: who the fuck is they murdering? They self. So that's the problem. Eliminating the problem, creating a solution. But let's talk about the kids, right? The kids is important. 70% of white males are doing the essay on kids, bro. Shouldn't you be more concerned about that? Ain't no black people coming into where you at killing no white people. But your uncle, your cousin, all them people they might do something to your kids, bro. So that's what you need to be focused on. It's
I,
like it's that superiority thing. That like I'm better
nah,
because I'm this. That's the thing with me with these people, bro. It's like for me, for instance, right? I can flex on people. I ain't got no fucking criminal record. I got degrees and all this shit. But I don't come out here trying to flex on people. I'm better than you because of this, because of that, because I'm a father to my kids, because I don't have a broken home. I don't flex on people like that. Because I know life fucked up, bro, and circumstances and shit happen. And most people learn from their mistakes. Now, people who not learning, then I can show you something. But if I can't help you, I ain't gonna hurt you. And I feel like the stuff that he was saying, the rhetoric that he was feeling was more hurtful than helpful. Like you ain't giving solutions to these people problems, you just criticizing them, and that's not even your group. Your group got fucked up problems. Talk about it's ironic, the way he, passed away. But that's what your
and
people
and
doing
and
now.
and, and, and
That's what
in
your people known for. You should be talking about that
the
shit.
actions of how he passed away and what the discussion was, yes, it's very ironic. Well, let me ask you a question.
Hmm.
You're a good debater. I Now answer this to me. When you're debating, is there a subject that is chosen, that you don't choose the
Normally,
subject you debate, but you don't choose
right.
the subjects you debate, right?
Mm-mm.
All you can do is state what the facts or statistic whether there's no answer to, there's no whys involved. You are there to debate why you feel you're right about it. There's the whys. The whys are the questions that were never asked. Like I say, I watched a lot of his debates, and I understand. The only thing I ever said that he was wrong about, and not in his argument, but in the examples that he chose, was with the DEI pilots. But I also watched
Yeah.
that whole debate, and I watched where the question came from, and the question involved black people. The person that asked the question about the DEI shit, without even they didn't even understand themselves the whole meaning of the DEI, the diversity, inclusion, equity,
Equity and inclusion.
and
Yeah.
inclusion. They never
Hmm.
understood what that meant and who it really affected. Prior to even that, me watching that debate, I always wondered what the fuck is DEI mean, and I realized what it meant. But I also saw the underlining meaning of DEI and affirmative action, which DEI and affirmative action, although people can try to say, oh, they were the same. No, that's why it
No.
wasn't called affirmative action, because affirmative action was really kind of inclusive to one group of people. DEI was inclusive to a group of people, but it was a multitude within that group that didn't include black folks. If you look at the statistics and the numbers that really happen, that really exist on black folks that were actual
My
DEI
sister, my
hires.
sister worked in the department, and that's part of her job.
So
Um,
your sister would tell you wholeheartedly that the majority of the DEI hires were not black. They were white women.
no, they were white
And
women.
thank you.
They were white
So
women.
people
Majority of the yeah.
in
So
trans in the trans community, the so that was just a way for them to, just like with Black Lives Matter.
piggyback.
You
They
understand?
piggyback off everything, bro. Civil
No, go
rights
ahead.
movement. Civil rights
Hmm.
movement. The people don't recognize the civil rights movement included white women too. They got the right to vote too.
Because the white
The
women
people
got
don't
the black.
recognize that shit, bro.
Thank you. That so anything that black people considered, and you have the what I would consider now, because I used to be one, the average black person that looked at the wording that as it was spoken and took it as, oh, this they taking black stuff. This is for, no, it
They ain't
wasn't.
taking shit
The
from
the 14th, the 16th, and the 22nd amendments were for who?
you. Mm.
If you don't mind me asking, if you know what I'm saying,
Oh no, I don't
I
mind
can,
you telling, bro. Go ahead and let them know.
for the descendants of freedmen.
Hmm.
They turned around and they turned around and took those same amendments, particularly the 14th Amendment, and said, "Oh, anybody, they turned around and used it to say the immigrants that come over and have kids, and which we now know as anchor babies. They extended something that wasn't meant for anyone else other than the descendants of freedmen, and they marginalized it and gave them the same thing. That's why Trump said it best. He spoke it in his own words. It's particularly the 14th Amendment and what who it was directed to. But you'll let someone like a Al Sharpton, whatever that Crockett broad name is, the Hakeem Jeffries, the what's that old Don Lemons, tell you something different, and people will believe that because of who they are and who they say, what they say. The what's that, the roly poly dude, you know what I'm talking about, the
Roland
goddamn Roland Martin.
Martin.
He's the biggest boule of all time as far as I'm concerned, because I've watched him and I used to sit there and I'd be like, damn, man, he's on one. He's talking. And then I actually realized and started researching the shit that he was talking about. But when it comes to those amendments and the things that they've people don't pay attention to the small print. Everybody wonders why the government is shut down. It's not because the Republicans are saying, "Oh, we don't want this or that." What they're saying, yeah, we don't want to continue to support when the way the Democrats like to put it. And if you've ever listened to what's the woman Maxine Waters, um, Hakeem Jeffries, they all spoke the same language because they practiced the speech, they practiced the role. All Americans to have health care. And when they're questioned about, so are illegal, no, we want are illegal immigrants. So basically, are you guys holding up because you want health care, free health care, whatever, Medicaid and all that? Some of that shit they don't qualify for, regardless of. But they continue to say they overlook the question of do are illegal immigrants. They say all Americans. And what they mean by that is everybody that's in America right now, not how they got here or, you know what I'm saying, by what means they came. They say Americans because they're living in America,
Yeah.
not whether
But
they're
see, like that,
citizens.
like bro, people don't see that whole shit about the immigrants, bro. Is they bring think about it. I'm gonna simplify, it, bro. Is you got one side saying we don't want immigrants, but you got other people opening the door for the immigrants. Why? So they can get more votes, bro. That's all that shit for, bro. That's why
Well, see,
they
you got to be
like, bro.
careful how you word
It ain't
that
hard to
too.
get a fucking driver's license and go up. I mean, I do that shit every year, bro. I mean,
But
you got a
word,
driver's license.
you
You go
have to be
register to
very
vote.
you have
That
to be
shit is not
very
fucking hard,
careful.
bro.
You have to be very careful on when you say immigrants because I know people specifically that came through
Migrants.
this
I
country.
use the term
No,
migrants.
Mike,
Bro.
thank you.
When you
Okay, there we go.
when you use the term
I like the
migrant,
way you
you
chose
know,
that. I like the way. Yeah,
immigrants is
okay.
cool. Migrants, that's a different story.
Migrants came and did it the way it was supposed to be done. And in a lot of the cases, it took them 15 to 20 years to gain citizenship in order to gain access to what a certain group of people chose to just give motherfuckers that crossed the border.
And see,
That's foul.
I live around a lot of migrants now, but you know, first, second generation people. And my wife, you know, she's first generation here. You know, they did it the right way though. They got their paperwork. She was born here, but her mom, she got her mom's.
Hmm.
We was going through some stuff. Got her mom's paperwork. You know, so when she got her citizenship, so people do it the right way, man, and it ain't nothing
But
wrong with that, bro. You do it the right way.
no,
That's
that's
what
how. That's how. I mean,
society our society rewards people who do things the right way. Like far as, you know, following law. You know, you get rewarded. You know,
right.
you become a citizen. That's the reward. Now you can
And
indulge in everything.
I can
But when you just
debate
that
and
entitlement shit, I
say
don't believe in entitlement. I don't believe people. I believe we in America. I grew up in America. My grandma and them
I'm
was
not. I'm not of
from the
anything
South. They
else.
moved up north to
I'm
work. You know what I'm saying?
my
They
great
came up.
grandmother is foundational Black American, which she comes from actually a tribe in East Texas. My great grandfather, he is a descendant of slaves. So there are things that I could sit there and say, but when people choose to debate who should be where, then the first thing they want to say is, well, uh, everybody here is an illegal immigrant because they wasn't here for. But that's before everything came with structure, regardless of how. I can't, me personally, I can't sit there and say I want reparations. I was never a fucking slave. And to make even matters worse, when Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, it was before he could enact into law the 40 acres and a mule. People don't understand. That's why
That's why they
we were
got him
never
up out of here, bro.
promised money. Huh?
That's that's why they got his ass up out of here before
Before he could
you
do
see,
it. Before he could do
We're
it because
stopping.
he was
We'll
getting
stop the
ready to
next
do
person.
exactly that.
Just think about
But
this, bro. If
see,
that was the plan, what stopped the person after him from doing
man,
it? If
but
that was the
because they didn't
plan,
believe
bro.
in it. They
You
didn't
see what
believe in
I'm
it.
saying? So that's why they
And
got his ass
remember,
up out of here.
he was the very first Republican president. People don't understand that the very first Republican Party of Texas, and I speak on Texas being the state that I'm from, the country that it used to be. And I wasn't there during that time. And Texas is racist in a bitch at times. And some places in Texas are very racist. But the history can never be changed. The very first Republican Party of Texas consisted of 120 freedmen and 30 Caucasians. But they don't
Mm,
talk about that
mm.
because that's not history that's taught. You'll never learn that in school. But at the end of the fucking day, we sit back and point the fingers because during the same year, 1867, which was the year that the Republican Party of Texas was formed, guess what else was formed? The Ku Klux Klan.
I was about to say
And
the KKK.
it didn't come from the Republican Party.
Came
The
from the
Democrats
Democratic
have
Party.
always been the Democrats were the Confederacy, but nobody wants to talk about that. Biden himself is an affirm. He keeps saying that he's one of the last Dixiecrats. People don't even know who the fucking Dixiecrats was. But then when you get to mentioning names like Strom Thurmond, Robert Byrd, they say, okay, well, Biden did the eulogy for Robert Byrd, who was a Grand Kleagle, not a Grand Wizard, but a Grand Kleagle of the Ku Klux Klan, right? And Hillary Clinton was standing right there by his side. But then you'll have the argument saying, well, he saw the like he saw different. He chose to the motherfucker was 80 years old at least when he decided to change his mind and saw it was in the best interest of himself to I'm not a racist no more.
That's the coming to Jesus moment we about to know. I'm sorry. Can I get in the heaven?
You
I
know
don't hate
what
black
I'm
people
saying?
no more. This
Because that's not
motherfucker
what you
probably
want
died.
your
Look,
legacy to be remembered
look,
as.
I bet you this is what happened, bro. I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. Motherfucker died for a minute. They had to resuscitate him when he came back. I was like, damn, God, black,
He
bro.
said,
I gotta
damn, I
hurry up
was
and make it
wrong.
you can make it right.
But you see what I'm
Oh
saying, though,
shit.
Warren? It's
Hey.
people that have this whole uh, 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 they preach this narrative that they aren't this and aren't that. But when you look at the history of it, of the people, yes, they are. And they
Mhm.
now know how to subtly enact or implement the shit that they really believe in without it being put out there. People don't
Yeah.
realize
They just
Trump just
got more
gave another
sophisticated with it. They get more.
Trump just
That's what people do. I mean, you get the more you practice something, the better you get at it. Right? The better ways you
thank
figure
you.
out how to do it. Right? That's how
I
manipulation
mean,
works. Bro. That's
Trump
how,
just
like,
gave
even
another
the shit that we
$10
talking
million to HBCUs on top of what they were already getting for basically what would have been a lifetime that was shut down in the prior administration. But people don't realize that nobody looked at Trump prior to him running for president. Nobody said, "Oh, he's a racist." Now, okay, did he take out a fucking 5-page ad in the New York, with the New York joint, the New York newspaper against the Central Park Five? Yes, he did. Did he deny low income housing to his condos in the 70s? Yes, he did. But do those two things make him a fucking racist?
like, like,
Nobody talks about there was five, I think 5 or 7, one of the two, 5 or 7 black businessmen that went to entrepreneurs that went to banks in the 80s to get loans and were denied these loans, but they were privy to certain people who told them, hey, And fuck them banks. Go to Trump. He'll help you out. And they went there, and it's documented. It's when it came time, they all those five individuals became successful. And when they were trying to pay back them loans that they had got from him, he said, "No, you don't owe that. You owe me nothing. You proved that you can be successful. You owe me nothing." Are those the actions of a racist?
Like, see, I think people use terms. Uh,
They
I think
use it
people
out
use
of
the wrong term.
yes,
Yeah, they use
they
it out of emotion, bro.
yes.
People say some most shit. You hurt my feelings being racist. Now, is he prejudiced? I think, look, bro,
Shit, we all
I think
prejudiced,
everybody
man.
fucking prejudiced,
We
bro.
all
I
fucking
think
prejudiced.
if you don't be prejudiced, it's like prejudice to me is kind of like putting yourself first. You know what I'm saying? Now, out of
Prejudice
malice
is,
and
is
hatred,
is like
like
breathing, man.
that's something else. That's just that's human behavior too. Where people be malice and hatred with it. But at the same time, like that shit is for survival, bro. I mean, like this is what I'm saying. Like I speak reality, bro. I know what exists. I know what I got to deal with people. I got to deal with prejudiced people. I got to deal with bigot people. I got to deal with racist people. But guess what? That shit it don't make me feel no type of way, bro. People get it too emotional about shit. It is what it, man. This shit existed before we was here. And guess what? It's gonna be here when we go.
Don't be here when
This
we
ain't
gone.
anything. This is just human
I can
behavior.
only
It's
I
nature of
now
human, bro.
I can honestly say I've dealt with a lot of prejudiced folks in my life, and I ain't just talking about white people. But when
Hmm.
I really
And people
when
in
I
general,
really
bro.
when I'm really asked how many racists have I fucked with or been interacted with or been in the company of, I can't, and I'm from Texas, born in 71, raised in I'm a 70s baby, raised in the 80s, man. And I can't say I've been around one. Now, I've been let me lie. Let me quit lying. In the very early 70s, racist parents. I could have said that at one point, but now I have to change the term. No, they were prejudiced as fuck, but their kids weren't. And no matter how much they try to keep their kids away from me, and I just said, fuck it, all right, they can't play. Them kids came and found me, and the parents had nothing to do, had no choice but to accept it. So does that make the parents racist or prejudiced?
Oh, yeah. Like, bro, I can name a handful of racist people. I changed a racist heart, bro. Wasn't even trying to. I trained a racist heart. It was this boy I used to play baseball with, AU baseball, and I was like the second black person on the team. Everybody else was
Hmm.
white, and the boy wanted me to come over to his house. And his dad looked at me. I was like 15, bro. His dad looked at me and was like, I don't like black people, so no, you can't come over my house. He said that to me, bro. I'm like, okay, shit. I was kind of used to it though, because the reason I came from Pennsylvania, so like it was areas of Pennsylvania you didn't go because they didn't accept black people. And it's like you just don't go there because they
No,
don't fuck with black
facts.
people. You know
That
what I'm
exists
saying? So
everywhere.
yeah, so I was like, when he said it, it ain't bother me, and it's like shit. I got invited. You know, your son want to hang around me. He think I'm cool with shit, but
Hmm.
now, fast forward 10 years later, he came through the hospital and I went with just randomly. Like my homeboy, his job was to go get the patient. And it was like 10:30 at night. It was him and this young girl. They said the guy was all fucked up, so we needed to come um, pick him up. The nurses, so he asked me to go with him. I'm like, yeah, I go with you, bro. Because we got to move this
Hmm.
big ass bed. So I said, yeah, I go with you to help you out. So we go, and I see the dude in the hall. He recognized me. I ain't even recognize him. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, my dad in there. And I'm like, oh shit. And I'm like, bro, we ain't got no white people on staff. Nah. He was like, man, nah, bro. He was like, he ain't even like that no more. I went in there. He looked at me and started crying. He looked at me and started crying. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? He was like, you remember when we had went, we played AU, so we used to travel. And we had went to
Right.
Ohio. And his dad usually go, and get a separate room to keep him, but he didn't go this time. And it was two dudes on a team that tried to jump him. And, I ended up fighting. Like, because he couldn't fight worth shit. But they was trying to jump
Right.
him. And I ended up fighting him. And after that day, like, he went home and told his dad what I did. Now I was fighting. It started with two. I ended up fighting. This is our team. I got kicked off the team because of this, right? But I got picked up by another AU team, so I was fine. But I got kicked off the team because of this. I fucked like it started two fighting two boys. I ended up fighting four. I fucked two of them up. Like I whooped their ass. One of them I knocked his teeth out. So the parents was mad, so they kicked me off the team. So after that, I think I seen him like two or three more times, but it was like passing by. But he was like, man, after that day, um, he was like, my dad, his heart changed. He was like, you know, um, I like him, and he wanted to meet up with me after that, but it wasn't. We didn't have each other's number at the time. We just talked, when we played.
No, I can
But
dig. I can dig. And that's
but
that's
yeah,
that's all I'm saying is a racist is a racist. Now can it be said that a racist can change his mind and heart? Absolutely.
yeah.
But
Cause
the
I don't
average
think you born
racist,
racist, bro. That shit is
no,
taught.
that
That's
shit
my
is
behavior.
taught. That
Yeah, that
shit is
shit
so
taught,
taught.
bro.
That's why I'm saying that the parents of the kids that and it's crazy that you mentioned sports because the, two of the guys that when I was in kindergarten and first grade, I didn't know. I come from the projects, man. All I knew was black kids. But at the end of the day, I didn't know anything about racism, and my parents never taught me about racism. What I learned was the police don't fuck with us, and they didn't
Mhm.
say white police or this that and this. I'm talking about the early '70s. So being in this neighborhood where we my parents have elevated or thought, in their eyes elevated to get us to this neighborhood. And I'm the only black person in my school, but every teacher I had from kindergarten to first grade, because we was only over there for 2 years, loved me. They saw how smart I was, this, that, and the third. That some of the
Oh my
neighbors,
bad. I don't mean to cut you off, but
yeah,
sisters
yeah,
in the
yeah.
chat. Tay in the chat. You see Tay?
I
What
yeah,
up, Tay?
I definitely shout it. Tell you, I keep my device on the chat. I don't even focus on because otherwise it's like having a fucking three-way call if we just looking at the panel and talking to each other. So yeah, I try my best to interact with the chat as much as I can. But no, man, the shit is just like we've evolved so much, but you have those that are telling our people that nothing's changed. How is it that nothing's changed when in the '70s I couldn't be I couldn't be in the union electrical field, but I've been in now for going on 20 years. So how is it that we are, sup- uh, according to statistics and censorship, the minority, but yet we're the face of welfare? So you mean to tell
That's
me that
bullshit. But that's what I'm saying.
all
Like all this bullshit is rhetoric, bro. This shit they've been using this shit
but
since
who
motherfuckers
puts
got
it out
freed,
there?
bro.
Word, who puts it out there though? Where does
The
it come
system,
from?
bro. Bro, look, I this
Who?
this is
No, no, no.
like
Who's the
this.
biggest perpetrator of bullshit propaganda?
Well, I ain't about to say that. I'm
The
monetized, but
media.
yeah.
The media. No, I'm gonna say it. If
But
not,
who control the media? Now see, now we gonna go down the rabbit hole. Now we
now
gotta see
let's
who
talk about.
controlling that,
Now we talking
bro.
about
Man,
something.
like,
Now you know you
bro,
talking my
man,
language.
I need to get on Rumble because I can tell y'all some shit, bro. We can go, man. Look,
There's a
they done
handful of
look who
families
like,
that don't
bro.
even equal
When you
10.
you got to go to the root of shit. When you start going to the root, bro, you see where all this shit came from, bro, or who doing all this shit. You realize they got A fighting B, so they don't see what the fuck C doing. That's what pissed me off.
Because C
That's when I
C
get mad.
is that factor that nobody put into the equation because everybody's thinking A plus B. They never thought about what
Hmm.
A plus B equals. It's just like A plus
Right.
B,
That's
A
what I'm
plus B,
saying.
A plus B. Come on, man. Man, come on. I'll be there, man.
But see, but shit, A ignorant as hell, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Bro, A ignorant,
Yeah.
bro. If you can't eliminate if you can eliminate the ignorance of A, we can do something. Something can happen. Some shit can take, but I mean, A go keep, I don't know, bro.
Yeah, A
Like,
gonna
I
A,
do my
but
best to
when
do
you
my
think
best.
about it, and when we not even when you think about it, when you look at history, anytime our people has had a positive influence, someone that we can look up to as, and honestly, we shouldn't have to look up to one person because originally a village raised a family, right? But
Hmm.
then every time someone in that village has risen up above the ranks and caught the interest of the majority of the villagers, what happens to them?
Get them up
They
out of there.
die. My bad. I forget
That's why
about
you
choice
gotta
of words
create
when
a
you say what
hydrant,
happened.
bro. You need a hydrant. You cut my head off, you gonna have 3 crazier motherfucking heads, bro, and deal with that. Nah,
But the
that's
head,
what you need, bro.
the folks that really was coming up, you look at Malcolm, okay? No. Let me start with MLK since that's everybody's favorite. Even he realized and stated in one of his last speeches that he came to a realization that he was leading his people into a burning house. But nobody plays that part of the speech. All they play is the black, the white, walking hand in hand, and all that bullshit. And I don't disagree with it, but as I've come through a life and saw shit for what I see, how I see it, segregation was the worst thing that could ever happen to black folks. And I
And
see this
segregation,
not
that wasn't even segregation, bro. That's
oh,
just the name they
no,
gave
no,
it.
no, I'm sorry, not segregation. I'm sorry.
Integration.
Integration.
That's
That was
that's
the
what
worst fucking thing.
that's what happened. Motherfuckers integrated it. I mean that shit. Yeah,
And
that
and
shit was
his
fucked
his
up.
biggest fear happened. He led our people into a burning fucking house.
Hmm.
And we were doing fine. Not when I say we were doing fine without being integrated, we had black teachers that taught black students. Yeah, they may have got the bottom of the barrel books and all that shit, but what they taught, it's not about the books. It was the caring of the teachers. They cared
Hmm.
and they wanted to see us succeed because they rose above the ranks to be educators. And when they rose above the ranks to be educators, they didn't think about educating others. They thought about educating their own.
Educating themselves. Yeah,
And then you
yeah.
turn around
All
and
that
say,
shit was
well,
a psyop, bro. All that shit
man,
was
come
a
on.
psyop. All that shit
And
was
it's
a
like,
psyop, bro.
but word I ask people all the time, man. I have these believe it or not, I have these conversations on a regular basis. And I ask them, when I ask them this, I say, well, if you walk into a bar and you just out of on some random shit, was thirsty, you wanted to drink, you've been on the road, whatever the situation was that led you into it. And this is the only bar you saw. And you walked to that damn bar. First off, when you walked in there, you noticed you was being looked at funny. But you didn't pay no mind because your thirst for whether it been the alcohol or just some water, overrode all that shit. So again, that's logic overriding emotion at this point in time. You get to that
Hmm.
bar and you ask for whatever drink you want. It could have been a Diet Cola or a fucking Jack and Coke. And the bartender tell you, we don't serve your kind. We don't want you in here. Are you gonna
See, this the like I don't know, bro. I guess that they didn't have foresight because like right now, like if you go to a school, it's people that don't represent you that's teaching your kids. They have no true vested interest in your kids. They doing a job. That's the difference. When you go to the hospital, you're dealing with people who don't look like you. So they have no vested interest. So guess what? They just doing the job. like the caring, the empathetic fact, people, the association relation thing disappeared. You know, we we
So
we
no
trying to
facts.
get
No,
to the
I
point.
totally agree.
You know, we trying to get to the point where we don't see color, but the reality is color equals experience. The way you look is how the world is go interact with you. So you can't. You know, I understand why people say that. I don't see color. I truly understand it, but that's just not fucking reality, right? And the more
It's
you
not
do
that
it,
they don't
that
see it;
creates delusion. That
they
it
don't
because
acknowledge it.
it's shit that white people got to go through that I never will have to go through. Just like it's shit I got to go through, white people will never go through. So
Hmm.
we can learn from one another's experiences. But if I'm saying I don't see color, that's denouncing another person's experience, bro. That's where the problem or issue come in at, bro. We need to fucking see color and
It's not.
understand
It's not.
color because that shit comes with fucking experience, bro. That's just what it is. And if we can get to that point, we can overcome some of the other bullshit. But we have to respect each other's experience, bro.
because everyone
We
is
just
went through
do.
something different, doing
Yeah, I
whatever
mean, we
point
go
period in their
through
life.
even look because you white don't prevent you from going through poverty. So we
Hmm.
have some shit that we experience, right? It's some shit that we all have similar experiences, but color is a factor. It's just the reality. It's
Word.
history behind that shit, bro. So
But that's
the
why.
sooner
That's
we
go
can,
ahead. I'm sorry, man.
the,
God
the,
damn. Go ahead.
I, I just feel like, look, respect other people's experience, bro. When we can get to that, you know, you can respect my history, my experience. I can respect yours, and we can move forward. But that old kumbaya shit, let's forget this. You can't forget
That's
shit
not
that's
gonna
fucking
happen.
implanted on you, bro. That shit is documented, bro. It is what it is. We can
It's
learn
not
from
gonna
it.
happen.
Yeah,
There's no
ain't
way.
gonna.
Even if it was the majority of people claimed it, it'll never happen. And see, you basically just finished my thoughts, or because you look at it like, remember when I asked earlier, why are we as the minority considered the face of the welfare? But what they tell us, I ask people out, man, I'm telling you, where I be having these conversations in real time, in real life, with different people that's we strike up intellectual conversations, so to speak. And I say, well, man, how is it that we as supposed to, statistically the minority, the face of welfare? And I ask these questions because my wife worked for the welfare department, man, for damn near 10 years before she went over into psychiatric casework. And the majority of her clients were white. The majority of the people that was cussing her out on the phone because they forgot to do what the fuck they were supposed to do and redo that renew, they were white. 77 75% of white people are killed by white people,
Yeah,
but they don't talk about white on white crime. Now
it's taboo.
we have
It's
we
taboo.
have a because it goes against what
The narrative.
the narrative. Thank you. It goes against that. Um, I mean, the numbers don't lie. They can be skewed. Don't get me wrong. They can be skewed, but in reality, they don't lie. You can't skew them enough to just say that this number never existed. When in reality, everybody that know that this number did exist. It just people wasn't sure of what the number was.
and,
So
and
people can
people don't
change.
understand. I was talking to shout out to Taylor. Riders, what up, sis? I was talking to Tay the
Hey,
other day.
Ryder.
And you know when they talk about statistics, you know the term they love to use per capita, right? They like to use the term per capita. So when you looking at statistics, right? Just numbers, right? If I take
Hmm.
say if I take say if I take a number like uh 100,000, right? And say if it's something 100,000, and 10,000 out of that 100,000 would be 10%. Now if
Right.
I take 100 and I take 10 out of 100, that's 10% also. But 10,000 is a much bigger number than 10. But because of per capita, because it's a smaller number, doing
the
doing the
majority
same
of,
amount, they
and that
consider that
smaller,
work.
yeah.
You know, so
But
even if you
see,
look at the statistics, if you look at the number of murders that white people do, it's more white people murdering people than it is black people murdering people. But because it's a smaller sample size, it's less black
we
people than it
become the
is white
face
people.
of.
The percentage is higher.
But this is what they
The
don't.
perc-
This is what the percentages fail to include. 55% of the black people that have been convicted for the murders, or their
ain't
sentences
even
are
guilty.
overturned, they're not guilty. 55, they never. So you don't get that statistic, right? And then
And
the
then
statistics don't ask why. The statistics just look at the convictions. They don't look at the motherfuckers that wasn't guilty of the convictions. It's a skewed and it's a very, very, very biased fucking scale. So I get it, you get it, and a good multitude of people in the chat get it. But the question is, what about those that don't? And those are the ones that think that the same people that don't get the 55% overturned convictions, the 75% white on white crime, you know, the 13, 14% of black on black crime. Well, not black on black crime, but I don't remember the statistic within that 14%. Because now it has went up to 14%, if you didn't know. But the question has never been asked is why is this happening? And it's been no, no, let me rephrase that. It's been asked, just not observed by the right people. So we're always gonna find ourselves the leader or the face of the bullshit. When you look at Planned Parenthood, shit, I don't know where you stay, but I know if I roll down the street, you know what I'm saying, a few miles, 2, 3 miles, I'm gonna see one of my cousins pouring lease in her glass so she can drink it, right? But you'll never hear about the white folks that walked around all the white neighborhoods and did a statistic as to why this X, Y, and Z was happening to her car. You can look in there and tell me if you did. And I know you wouldn't because it didn't exist. But our job as parents are to make our child's lives better than they were when they was shot.
you know, like I'll be the right one to fuck with. Like I don't people don't like coming to me fucking with these type of debates because I eat their ass alive. Because even when they talking about like because bro, the shit. What happens is they emotionally trigger people, and when you emotionally
Hmm.
trigger, you can't articulate yourself right, and you and your emotions and shit. That shit don't happen with me. So even like when we talking about like black on black crime, like let's be real. I like to look when we talk about statistics. Let's look at the attributes. This is what people. Where is this shit happening at? In the inner cities? Okay, inner cities poverty. That shit is expected. But when you look at the white on white crime, where's that shit happening at? These are educated, well-to-do people in the suburbs doing this shit, bro. They ain't in the hood. White hood killing each other. No, these motherfuckers who educated and regular ass like the motherfuckers who drove into the church and lit the motherfucker on fire and like he was a military veteran, bro. Living in a suburb, family guy. The dude who unalived Charlie Kirk, bro. This motherfucker had a $30,000 a year scholarship to a university, 4.0 student, mom and dad, bro. Like these, like when they do the shit, it ain't the bottom of the barrel, motherfuckers, bro. Let's talk about like they don't want to talk about. Let's talk about the attributes of the statistics. Show me where these crimes are happening. That when it comes to black people, you don't too often see black people in the suburbs unaliving people. Bro. You just don't see it. When motherfuckers make it out of there, they do right and they get right. So if you talking about the bottom of the barrel, if you want to say that with one group, okay, that's expected. We don't expect much out of those type of people, bro. Just being real. You really don't expect much.
Mhm.
Everybody ain't gonna make it, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
And that's
that's just
statistically
what it is.
proven.
I came from that, and I'm just speaking facts because I changed, I advanced, I started doing right. A lot of people I grew up. They still doing the same thing. I don't fuck with them, bro, because I know what to expect. That's bottom of the barrel type shit. Now I was at the bottom of the barrel. I climbed up out that bitch. I made it out. I tried to pull people up. They tried to pull me back down. So I said, "Fuck the barrel." I kicked the bitch down the hill. Right, go float and swim. That's how I look at it, bro. But it's the motherfuckers now that I'm around. Like it was a rash of burglaries. Like when I first moved over here, motherfuckers getting snow blowers and shit taken out. Come to find out, this little white boy. They came from the houses that I stay at like 300,000 400,000. These motherfuckers coming from 700,000 800,000 dollar homes, bro. Coming into our little area stealing snow blowers and shit. Like what the fuck is
Man,
you
trust
like?
me.
Yeah, bro, your house is twice as much as mine. What the fuck is you stealing my snowblower for?
Poverty isn't about. I mean, racism isn't about where you grew up at. It
Right.
also explains people because when you look at it, that 75% of white people that kill white people, they're amongst white people. That but people like to use that and pull the race bait every chance they get.
Yeah, I look, bro. I look at people as I look at the character of the person. If you fucked up, you just fucked up. If you good Pete, then you good Pete, bro. This is what it is, man. And shit, look, I can't say because you my skin tone that you right, bro. I can't do that. I look at
Right.
the actions of the
I
person,
dig, man.
bro. I can't say because you ain't my skin color, you ain't right, bro. But if that shit aligned, then it aligned. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, bro. If it aligned, then it aligned. But it's all about for me. It's about the actions of the person. Are you gonna do right? Are
Hmm.
you gonna be right? And after that, bro, it is what it is, man. As I look at it, judge a man on his character. That's why I think people should be judged on their character, bro. But don't start
That's
talking shit,
facts.
'cause I'm gonna whoop your ass with facts, bro. I'm gonna whoop that ass with facts,
And they not ready for that because anybody would hear
bro.
you say what you just said, and for me to either tell or lead however that conversation or that what you spoke on came about, the first thing they gonna do is holler about how they can't see. Okay, cool. Now we got you back. You know what I'm saying for where we promised you to be. And again, me not acknowledging. Just got. I try not to give up, what I'm saying, on our people, but some people make it so fucking hard to the point to where a slap the local can slap you to the fucking ground and stomp you the fuck out, and you wouldn't do much of nothing but admit that you got fucked up. Then turn around and the opposite is trying to walk off, would come back and try to be the whole wholesome opposite. And your people, as I'm searching everything, your people is letting me know, nah, nah.
Nah, I just I don't know, bro. I'm just at a point in my life, man, where I try to eliminate hate out my heart. Period. I don't want that shit in my heart, and I deal with people accordingly, duly, whatever you want to call it, bro. I deal with people uh, how how I best can have a good interaction with them. If I can't have a good interaction, I can't fuck with you, bro. As far as judging people, bro, I ain't got time for that shit. I don't give a fuck about judging people. I don't give a fuck about what people doing, bro. I'm 41. It's about me. I got to do shit right. So I ain't trying to come back to this motherfucker, bro. I'm good. You
Shit, trust
motherfuckers
and
don't
believe
believe
me,
in
I understand.
reincarnation. This is a punishment, bro. This shit, this shit punishment, man. We in hell, bro. I'm getting out of here. I'm breaking out of this bitch. I'm in my 33 body. I'm out, bro. I ain't coming back to this shit. I'm good. That shit gonna go over a
Nah.
lot of people's head, but it ain't meant for them. So that's why it ain't meant for
I
you.
ain't gonna even lie to you. It took my wife half a second because she thought I was just getting this her car, and she thought I was just getting fuel plug stuff and all. Like, nah, fuel plug ain't gonna do that. So don't even worry about it. But it's people that, like I said, in our seductive others has made a statement that says But they be so trying to do the right thing and knowing that they fucked up in harmony, man. Because without our flaws, man, we'll never learn to appreciate our strengths. And some of it wants to. Yeah. Word. Yeah, okay. Just making sure I'm straight. My damn phone turned the wrong direction. I mean, like Ryder, and everybody. Because I watched the chat, and yeah, we is proximity really plays a factor into why the statistics are the statistics, which is why you don't see many, you know, black and white in the cities, especially the shit. You don't really see black and white in these black and white violence in these cities because we aren't in the same proximity. Shit, me and Tay would Tay, I love you, but we proved that we can argue like a motherfucker and we just don't lie. And at the end of the day, so you take us with the same disagreements or personal disagreements, how it was always put, or dislikes of each other, which that wasn't ever the case, but and put us face to face or in the close proximity to each other, we are going to argue. We're going to disagree. And unfortunately, nowadays, for the people that are in that same proximity, that close proximity, they're going to have real live issues that they feel they need to handle. Say, you're my girl, man. Come on. I'm just saying. But we're living proof that what we're speaking on is truth. Not that we hate each other. We never had anything against each other. We just didn't like at times back then. We didn't like how each other how each of us moved or spoke or you know what I'm saying. We me and you butted heads so much, but we never butted heads because we had a problem with each other. We just butted because we did anything more so not a problem with each other, but because we did anything to each other. We butted heads more so because we had a difference of opinion in a lot of cases. And that's what exists today. People that in close proximity gonna have differences of opinion. So when we talk about the hood, everybody like to talk about the hood. Well, who the fuck is in the hood? Black folks and some poor whites that were fucked up enough that they had to be in the hood. But then you look at the violence and you wonder why. It's because people had the same fucking difference of opinions in the hood. But those became strong dislikes. I am a product of my environment. I don't blame my environment because I had choices and I chose to do what the fuck I did. But as I grew up and I also suffered the consequences and paid the price, so to speak, made atonements and redemption from my decisions, and now I'm no longer in the hood. And I don't see that same violence or negativity to each other. Poverty breeds bullshit in the fact of violence because people are acting out because they don't have. I watched a video from the 80s involving some Crips, And the question was posed to one of the youngsters. And these are, mind you, these are LA Crips in the 80s. They're kids. We talking about no older than 15, 16, 17 maybe. But man, the man asked me, say, so if you were given a good job, a good opportunity, and you didn't have to worry about money because of your job, would you still gangbang? What was taken out of context is the boy said he didn't say I wouldn't gangbang. What he said was, I'm still gonna be a crip. I'm still gonna be cripping. Gang banging and cripping is two different goddamn things, and people don't understand the like with prejudice and racism. They don't understand the difference. So people like to throw the word racist around so much to where they forgot about prejudice. But when we talk about as minorities, when we talk about the white man, this white person that I hate all white people, that's fucking prejudice. It's not racism, it's prejudice. Because when you're racist and you can be a part of the systemic shit of racism, that means that you have the ability to control or oppress the group of people that you don't like. And in this particular term, black people. Now you show me black people in America that go and take me back to the 50s or 60s that had the power to oppress another ethnicity. And then I'll show you 3,000 black slave owners. Before and see those numbers are so the word slavery is skewed just like prejudice and racism, because racism, I mean prejudice, I'm sorry, the word slave didn't exist until the 1800s, and the first person attributed to slavery, to having a slave, was black in North Carolina. But people will never understand that the first slave owner was black. They'll question how, and the story remains the same because it's never changed. So when the term slave came, so if we weren't slaves prior to, so thank you very much. So if the word slave, well, in America, in the Americas, let me be specific. In the Americas, when we talk about slaves and all, because the first slave was, God damn it, and Thomas Sowell and I can never say his last name right, but Thomas Sowell can repeat that story so in depth and with the actual numbers and years of statistics. Who was a slave? What was a slave in America? Take in the word. What was what before the term slave was actually brought into our vocabulary as a people. I'm not gonna say our as a person who was there, but our vocabulary as a people. That prior to it being the Supreme Court deemed slavery a slave, which prior to it we were indentured servants, as was the white folks, so on and so forth. But the first it was a black man that contested his indentured servant running away to work for somebody else. He didn't run away to be free. He ran away to work for somebody else. Tell me what slave that we knew as far as what we were taught slaves were that ran away to work for be a slave on another plantation. I'll wait. But he went to work for somebody that was treating him better, and the person he ran away from was a black man in North Carolina. I can't remember the names. I'm gonna have to get this story down to where I can just recite that shit because people don't really believe that happened. And the black man, the black man that because dude ran away to a white neighbor's plantation to work for him because he was being treated better. And the original man, the black man who he ran away from, took the case to the courts because he felt like the dude stole what a slave was, not slave, but the person was ran away and still owed him, even though he was the one that was fucking him over in his freedom, his indentured servitude. He kept messing him over, prolonging and saying you owe this now, you owe this, and taxing it on. But the dude knew he did more time over there than what he was supposed to. That's just like being in prison and a motherfucker telling you, okay, well, no, you broke this bench, you hit this dude, we're gonna add more time to your sentence just to keep you as free labor. So
You see, I want to interject real quick
no,
because
go ahead, bro.
like the term slave, like people use it improperly. Like the first slave that we understand from the term now were the Slavic people, and that's where they got the word slave from the Slav.
Facts. That's
And
what
those were the
when you went to the 1500s, I understood what
yeah,
you meant.
so prior to the Slavic people being enslaved. Oh man, what the hell? All this shit. I had to read, bro. I had to update my computer and
Yeah, I saw
everything. But
you had to
anyway,
reboot everything. I'm
yeah,
like,
it's a. But I'm like,
hey,
it wouldn't let
hey,
me take it.
word. Hold on a second, bro. As I'm sitting here talking, I'm thinking to myself, damn, people feeling like how I felt when I first heard the word talk.
Bro, I'm telling
It's a
you, bro.
motherfucker trying to hold something down, man, by yourself, for real.
No, you held it down, bro. I was listening to you all the time. You held it down. But prior to the Slavic people being enslaved, you had what they call indentured servitude. You had people in bondage. You had prisoners of war, right? There was all
Yes,
different terminologies, and the terminology came from the way the people were treated.
we're
So
classified
the
more
Slav,
so.
yeah, classified. The first people that were looked at as property was the Slavic people. Bro, why can't this shit get off my screen, bro?
When I speak on that term slavery, now the Slavic with the origin of the word slave, it predated America. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah. It
So
predated America.
what I speak on is what happened, how people were classified as slaves in America, and who the first slave owner was. And Dr. Thomas Sowell, so I keep saying his name was Sowell, but he broke it down.
Now,
Dr. Claude Anderson breaks it down.
yeah, Dr.
And
And see, that's where I heard that from was from actually Dr. Clyde. But even now, what happened with that was it was an indentured servitude. He broke the contract, and that's why he took it to
yes,
court. And when he took it to court, they identified him as property now. So
and
this is
said
what
it's
chattel
lifetime
slavery.
ownership.
But yeah, lifetime owners. He became property, but
Hmm.
that's because he broke the original contract. That's what happened. So
But
now
prior to that,
it was indentured servitude. It was, but uh, cattle
chattel
slavery was
slavery,
something. That shit was
yeah,
something totally different, bro. Like because
yes.
like when you can give all these examples of slavery throughout history, but what you can't say is there's another group of people who lost their identity. There's another group of
We are
people.
the
I
only
mean, the
ones.
treatment that been treated like, bro. They had breeding farms. They was making mothers and
Oh, we
sons have
are.
sex to breed
I
more.
have no qualms about that.
You know what I'm
We
saying?
are the only
So
ones.
like when like when people use the term slavery, they like even I heard some people arguing today, like, well, people in prison are technically slaves by definition. I'm like, bro, all that you're misusing the term. It's better terms, bro. Better terms.
Because that falls up under the 14th Amendment, which extend and people misuse that word. Like you say, slaves. They misuse the term in the definition of the prisoners that are working. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm with you. I'm go ahead, bro. I'm finna run downstairs and grab my
If you
charger,
can, if
but
you
I'm
can,
listening.
if If you can regain freedom, you ain't no fucking slave, bro. Slave is a property, bro.
Thank you.
Slave is simply human property. Now, I mean, that's
Lifetime.
something totally different. And you can do whatever you want to do with your property, bro. You know, I mean, they have laws and rules in place, like with dogs and animals, that you can't do this. You can't even some material, like you can't just burn your house to it's your property. You can't do no shit. Like you can't put other things or other people in danger when dealing with your property. So they got outlines or laws that limit to what you can do with property. You know, but like people misuse the term. Even like when it was some people arguing slavery is in the Bible, bro. They put that shit in the Bible. The term slave wasn't even around when the Bible was written, bro. Like that
The
term
Bible,
was put in the Bible.
when
That's
the
a
Bible was
fucking.
written,
Oh,
when
go
the
ahead,
Bible
bro.
was written, some of the there were letters of the alphabet that didn't exist.
That didn't even exist, bro. Like, bro, man, that's why I don't be trying to, I don't try to argue it, bro. What works for people works for people. That shit make my head hurt, bro. 'Cause it's like even like the video we was watching, that group thinking shit. That's what happens, bro. You stop thinking rationally and think irrationally because this shit make you feel good, bro. Like, man, use the book for it's a good ass book, bro. I love the Bible, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I use that shit. I
It's
see
a,
the
it's a, it's a.
metaphysical aspects. I know how to see the allegories in it. But like somebody like the other day they was talking about Moses wrote the first book. I'm like, if Moses wrote the first book, why the fuck it ain't in
Why wasn't
the
it called a
Neteru?
book of?
Wouldn't it be in the Neteru? Like, let's be real. Didn't Moses get educated in Egypt? So why the first book ain't written in it? He wasn't speaking fucking Hebrew, bro. Like, what the fuck are you
Nah,
talking about?
it's
Like,
now.
common
Oh,
sense shit, bro.
let's dive into that right quick. Okay,
Bro, you
so
don't want to
if
dive in there. I
Moses
don't want
was
to talk
this
to nobody
slave, if Moses was this slave, and the Egyptians, of course, by nature and color, weren't the same, because he ran from they weren't the same. They weren't the same hue of people. So for you to be accepted as a son or grandson or son of the Pharaoh, you had to look like the Pharaoh. So
else. Hmm.
that debunks the colorism in slavery from way back then. Nobody's going. There's no way that somebody that knows a group of people is going to say, well, oh, well, he's the son of the because by mistake when you don't look nothing like the people that are claiming you to be their child. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, come on. So there are inconsistencies, but at the same time, the book is a very, very, very helpful guide of life and the do's and don'ts on what you should and shouldn't do in life, man.
Older shit than that, though, bro. That's what I fuck with. Like, when I learned the Bible, then I went to the older shit. I seen where the Bible got it from.
Right. The Bible is nothing but a rewrite of something that happened way prior to.
For way prior to it, bro. You got the Epic of Gilgamesh, bro. You got the Sad. I mean, well, Sad is older than Tammuz, but yeah, you got the walls of Kemet, bro. Just fuck with the walls, bro. Get into the Sanskrit.
The
They trying to
Sanskrit,
say
man.
they like people was literally arguing that Mesopotamia is older than Egypt. Like, bro, the Egypt, y'all, bro, like, come on now. What about the kingdom? What about Taseti existed before Egypt? That's where Egypt rose from, was Taseti. That was older than Egypt. They found pyramids older than the pyramids. Like, come on now, bro.
Let's keep it simple. Let's keep it simple. So Jesus is all over the Bible, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the Bible is supposed to be written from, we'll say, we're back to
Shit
not
written in Greek,
4,000
bro.
because
The
well,
New
no,
Testament written in
before
oh,
before
but
no. We're on the same
Jesus
page.
wasn't in the Tanakh. He wasn't in the Torah, bro. He was only in the
It's
New
not even.
Testament. Right.
And,
So
and
I mean, now we
how far back does the New Testament go?
like 200 BC.
Which is from all right.
I
So
mean, no, I'm sorry, AC. My bad. After Christ.
AC
That's
after
what.
Christ.
Yeah, like almost
So
200 years after. I mean, they found scrolls that's old. I think the oldest scroll they found was like 60 AC. It was like 60 years after Christ died.
I'm
If I'm
cool with
not
all. I'm
mistaken, I
cool.
think
I'm cool. No,
60.
I'm cool with all
But
that.
they didn't put it together until like 200.
All right. So let me ask you this then. Um, if everything that we're saying coincides with each other, now we have to ask ourselves the question: all right, if Jesus was Jesus way back then, how did Jesus become Jesus when the letter J didn't exist?
Bro, this is what I'm saying. It's like fuck the emotional aspect of it, bro. I be fucking with the facts, bro. I fuck
That's
with the
all I'm
facts, bro.
saying, man.
Yeah, I look at
That's
it
all
like
I'm
this.
saying.
Why is there no writings in Jesus? Why is there no writings of Yeshua in Aramaic? There's no fucking writings. It's only in Greek, bro. That shit is only in comes of Jesus. Even the scholars, bro. There's no Aramaic scholar that wrote about Jesus. You only can name like three or
So
four, and they was all Greek scholars, bro. These people telling
I,
stories that
I
ain't even
respect the
belong to
Bible,
them, bro.
brother. I respect the
Yeah, I
Bible
respect it.
and the
Yeah,
things
I
that it
respect it.
says, but all I'm asking is the story of the Bible can go back to Horus and Isis, which
Yeah.
predated the Bible, and you
Osiris,
got
man.
the
Y'all
same
keep
story.
forgetting the big guy, bro. Y'all keep forgetting the OG,
And
man.
you're
People say
absolutely right.
Horus and Isis, bro.
Well, you
Osiris was the
know,
one who resurrected, bro. Osiris
thank
was the
you.
one. He was that one, bro. Osiris
So,
was the
but
he was the one who
you
nutted
would be
on the
on the
world and
same.
created humans, bro.
So
Osiris,
that's
that's
all
where
I'm
the
saying
first
is
came from, bro.
it's so many
Osiris
things
is still
that
alive in this
people
world,
were
bro. Check this out, bro. This is
people.
what people don't understand. The people rocking around with obelisks and shit. The shit in Washington D.C. is in the Vatican. You know what the obelisk represents? Osiris' dick. That's how bad that motherfucker was. They worshiped his dick, bro. They worshiped in the palace. That's what the obelisks are. This is a
That's
representation, a
crazy.
symbolization of Osiris's. That's how bad that dude was, bro. And when they found his image and his statue, that shit was pitch black, bro. That bitch was. It wasn't no mistaking what Osiris was. He had that big phallus sticking out the ground, bro. That shit reaching to the heavens, bro. Stop playing with him, motherfucker, bro. People all over the world bowing down to the phallus. Stop playing.
And
Shout out to
that's my point.
Osiris, man. Seven five
We
five.
shout
What to
out to
do with the business
Osiris,
is,
man.
sis? A sword. Shout out to
That's
we
my whole
gonna use
point,
a
man.
kinetic name. We gonna say a
We only
sword.
go a sword, but we only give props to what we've been taught, not what we know,
Mm-hmm.
not what we've researched. And now we're in the age of information, right? We're in the information age.
Ain't
But
hard
the
shit.
only thing the only thing that people choose to look up is what the next YouTube challenge or TikTok challenge is. We don't want to question. Well, man, if man, now that I know, I can just put it in there, regardless of who entered the information into Google, or you know what I'm saying, what the case may be. People don't choose. People choose not to even exercise that because what the next dance craze is, or who the latest rapper that's in prison is. That's the point of interest.
And see, it may
But
seem
people,
like we went off topic, right? It may seem like we went off topic, but we
we
really
didn't.
didn't, bro.
We didn't.
Because even though what we're speaking on is individual thinking, right? When you get into group thinking, start putting yourself in these boxes, bro, you start accepting the ideology of that box.
Hmm.
You have to adhere to the ideologies of the box you place yourself in. And it limits the creativity or the thought or like the reason Socrates was gotten up out of here, the questions, bro. They killed that man
Hmm.
because he asked the questions. He made them think, bro. They don't want to think. They just want to follow what this box say, bro. And it's 2,000 years later, we still doing this shit, bro. We still suffer from the same thing. People lack of individuality. it's like you said, like I built this area just specifically the way I did because I want people to challenge what I say. You know, I don't want you to believe
Hmm.
in what I say. Go look, I give you the resources so you can challenge the shit, bro. Like I ain't one of them people. Like if you disagree with me, I'm gonna block you, and nah. I ain't gonna do that. I want you to make me better. The better you is the better us, bro. Only way I can
But
get
bro,
better is if I ain't the smartest person in the room. Because if I am, I'm in the
even
wrong fucking room, bro.
with
I
you
can't do it.
building the space that you built for the reason that you built it, there are still people, no disrespect but to anybody that's been in here, came through here, or exists still in here. People will still take your word for what you put down as law because they won't look it up for themselves.
You know
And
what?
that's
You
just
know what?
facts.
And if you look at the way I do it, I don't even allow people to do that because I'm gonna make you look at it where I get it from. I'm gonna give you the shit. I'm gonna make you think,
You're
bro.
gonna give it to them. You're gonna
I'm gonna
give
give
them
it
the
to them regardless if they
information.
want it or not.
And the
You
fact
go
that
get
you
this
broke
shit.
it down, but the fact that you broke it down and gave them where they need to go to research what you just put out there, they're gonna say, "Well, damn, he gave that to us, so it's got to be true."
Yeah,
Instead of
so,
just taking what you gave them and looking it up so that they can say, "Yeah, I read the same thing, so I know it's true."
I
Big
don't fuck with that
difference.
type of thing. Regardless of how you do it or why you do it, people still gonna do what they want to do. I feel it. I feel it.
And that's
But
my point.
but you know what? Those
That's
people
my
don't
point.
lack. Even though, like, if you look at the crowd that I got,
They come through and they
they,
fall off.
and they
They come
fall
through and they
because
leave.
even if
They
they
come
want to
through and
believe
they
me,
fucking leave.
even if they want to believe me, if they say yes, I say, like, if they say yes, you right. Why am I right? I always do. I challenge people, bro. Because like I said, I can't be the smartest person in the room. We're supposed to be growing and learning together. That's the only reason I'm introducing this shit. I'm not introducing it to make it seem like I'm superior or I know everything. I'm introducing it so I can have some badass motherfuckers around. You know, I
And
don't want
see,
no I'm straight, bro.
you
I need the just us league.
you built something called the 9%. As I look into the chat or people that have come through and have gone, I look at and say, okay, yeah, I may leave, but I don't never really leave. I go around, I go circulate, but I'm always a part of because I come back and what do you call it? Participate, right?
Mhm.
Because I know that I can get my shit off and agree to disagree or agree to agree in the same space that it was when I left.
Mhm.
Now, I also noticed certain names that have been here from the time I was here and some that came after the fact that are still here. Because I can never say I left. I always ventured in other places. I was in other places before I came through here. But some names remain the same. Some names don't exist no more for whatever reasons. And the way I see it is, if it was such a fucked up place to be, why would you come back? Or why would you leave? More so. And it is not that it's a fucked up place to be, it's just lives and people go through what they go through and go through their whole cycle, right? But it's like what we
Mhm.
were like I told my mother, um, maybe 10 years ago, I told my mother, that mama, it's not that I never not listened. Everything that you said to me, it didn't go in one ear and out the other. I just had to go and live and figure shit out for myself. And along the process of me doing so, I was always introduced to a position in a place in life where something that you said to me made sense and I knew how to handle it. So never take it as people left. Just look at it as people are you planted seeds. And once a seed is planted, unless it's just not watered, it's gonna always grow. And some seeds don't need water, depending on the climate. So yeah, you can never look at it as And I more so me, I can never, like I said, I see names that aren't here anymore, and I see names that have been here since I was here. But I could never look at it and say people have left because people could, we'll say 2 or 3 days or a week or two, three from now, people may not see my name in the chat. And they be like, oh, he left. No, never left. Always paying attention, just doing other shit, if
See,
that makes sense.
you and see, like even like I get like because it's like you said, you move around and shit. So there's some content creators. It's like and I'm not even over exaggerating. I popped in two texts today and they was talking about not today, yesterday. They was talking about people who used to be here, not here no more, and they was like dog walking. I'm like, shit, I ain't been here in a while. I ain't even about to type in the chat, bro. But that shit kind of turned people
Hold
off.
on,
So
hold on,
when I
hold
don't
on,
see,
word, hold on, word, hold on, word. I'm sorry. Now, Gary, if I was sleeping, that means I was over here because the word was putting me to sleep. Everywhere else I've been, it kept me
that
live
was,
and vibrant. Man, you thank Gary for that shit.
yeah, he come over here to sleep. Bro, his first three words shut be snoring, bro. He don't even get to type. He be in the midst of type and wake up like, God damn it, I ain't even get to say hi.
Man,
That's
I
how shut
missed
be.
all that shit, man. What the hell was I talking about? But
Well, yeah,
nah,
bro.
I had to fuck with G on that. But nah, man. But you go ahead, continue. I'm sorry.
So it's two reasons why I never. Um, There's two reasons why you'll never hear me criticize the people who ain't in the chat or who used to be here or not. Because the first and the main reason is this: people got lives, bro. This is fucking YouTube, right?
Hmm.
They might be watching on the replay, and a lot of people you don't see in the chat. I get comments in the replay, so I
Hmm.
know they there, they watching. So it's like I'm not gonna criticize nobody for not coming to. I mean, it's a choice. It's people's time. I value it. If they come and spend it with me, I'm grateful for it. That's the first reason. The second reason is this. If I'm sitting up here, if I'm doing a live talking about the people who ain't here, guess what I'm doing? I'm neglecting the people who are here. So
Thank
I
you.
rather focus my time and energy on the people who are here supporting me than the people who ain't. For whatever reason they're not here, they're not here. That's just what it is. But it is people here. So the more time I spend bitching and complaining about who ain't here, is
You're
I would
neglecting
feel
those
like
that
this.
are.
Like if I was in a chat like Didi, right? That's to me is disrespectful to Didi. Didi in every fucking show, regardless.
Hmm.
She here. So if it's just me and her and I'm complaining about, I should probably feel like, what the fuck? I'm here. Shit, at least I'm here. So to me that'd be disrespectful to the people who are here. So that's why you don't see me doing this shit. But other people be in their feelings, bro. They be feeling like people owe them something. Like they gotta be in
Abandoned
the
them
chat.
and yeah,
Yeah, like bro,
nobody
that shit
owed you
crazy. People
shit
got a lot.
other than
Like Tay got a fucking life, bro. She got kids. She got a job. She can't come to every show, but when she here, she show up and she show out. That's what's
So can
important.
I can I can I do a classic D Shep thing when it comes to
Nah,
Tay?
go do your thing. Do your thing. You about to get both of us in trouble. But I live in that area. I can get in trouble. I ain't getting in trouble by paying a long time. So
Nah, man,
fuck it. If I
Tay
gotta
know
go
I
down with
just
the ship, I gotta go down with the ship.
Tay know I
Not
got
the
much
ship, but
love, man.
if we gotta go down with the ship, we gotta go down with the ship. Not the ship, but the ship. Go
The
ahead, bro.
Shep.
We gotta go down with the ship, man.
And history, I tell you, my girl always have been. And I can't do nothing but I can't help but throw shots at her because she'll be quick to throw them at me.
Mhm. But that's just love, man, and that's the camaraderie. That's what I love,
Yeah,
though, man. It's
yeah.
like we can because that feel like like rocking out with you, rocking out with Tay Gary, 755, rocking out with y'all, man. It feel like I did when I was growing up. We can joke around. We ain't been malicious when we talk about one another, but
Thank
shit,
you.
that's how
That
we grew
part
up. I
right
grew up
there.
jonesing, bro. We call it
Talking
jonesing, tapping on
Jones
each other.
and
Yeah, bro,
ranking, however you want to put it. You
bro.
know what I'm saying?
Or anytime me and my sisters get together, like my brother-in-law, bro, I talk shit to him all day, every day, bro. My brother-in-law, I thought shit. I'd be like, damn, bro, you done ate some humans or something. This big motherfucker, bro. Like, what the fuck is you eating, bro? Like, and then when he was growing his hair, I'm looking like, bro, you like a fucking Sasquatch. Every chance or opportunity I get, I'm talking shit to him. And he don't do nothing but laugh, bro. He don't even try to cap back. He just
Cause
laugh.
we know
Now
it's
my
and those
niece
of
be
us that
getting,
know, we know. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Those of us that don't take shit like that's when the emotion overrides logic, man. How the fuck can you
yeah.
be emotional about some shit that wasn't even meant to be emotional?
And then it's
That's
some
the
shit.
crazy part.
It's the way you do it too, bro. It's the way because people try to hide disrespect behind a joke. Like, nah, bro. We know what
Yeah,
disrespect is,
yeah,
and we know
yeah,
what a
yeah.
joke
You're
is.
right.
But we know the
I
difference
know.
between the
Oh
two,
my
bro.
gosh, I know
There's a
many of those.
difference. Yeah,
I
like
know
don't do
those
that
where I hang
condescending
out at.
shit. Yeah,
But you'll also
don't
be
do.
surprised at those that take it as a joke without realizing it was disrespectful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
the
That's what happens.
mentality of people, bruh. For
Yeah,
real.
that's why I study people,
755,
bro.
don't
'Cause
get it twisted. I see you in I'm just wrapped up in the having this phone conversation, not a YouTube panel conversation, but this phone conversation. Because I ain't seen Gary Busted Down Brown come up here and offer his opinion, which he know I hate.
man, I can't
But
believe he
I
changed his
but I
damn name,
tolerate.
bro.
He changed
Like,
his
what the
whole
fuck?
fucking name.
Yeah, bro, you ain't what up what up, Gary, bro? You didn't
Oh
inquire to the
god.
group about changing your name, bro. What the fuck? That's just
Gary
like
was
my
one of the
kid,
most
bro. They got on
interesting
my
people,
ass,
man. Then
bro. They got
Commander
on
abandoned us. That's why I'm really kind of upset about that because I'm on this panel. If I'd have came in and Commander would have been here, I'd have stayed in the chat. But no, she's not here. She's off being somebody that
he all
ain't
doing
part of what we do. I don't like it.
he all doing the
Oh,
white
shit.
man.
Nah, yeah, she out doing the wife thing when it's not the time to do the wife thing. That any other time she doing the goddamn panel thing. I don't like it. Now I got a gripe to pick with her. Gary, you've just heard mine. Nah, but man, it's always a pleasure when I do come up. And just like a lot of people know, man, I don't really hit panels a lot. But if I hit one, it's because I have something to say. That's all. Well, whether people
Bro, I can't
agree,
do
right, wrong, or indifferent.
now I feel old, bro. I can't even find my YouTube. I forgot to put the monetization on before this video. It was a good
That's not
video, bro. I
old. That's just
appreciate y'all
blind,
being
man.
with
You get that's just like using racism and prejudice. You just
me.
you're not you just blind.
I just say see shit, total tent tank. Say shit, goddamn thing, bro. Man, I ran into the wall today, bro. My
Oh
son looked
God,
like, Dad,
stop
you
it.
ain't see it? Never mind. I'm looking like you petty like your mama, bro.
He
He's
said,
like, I
"Never
forgot
mind."
you can't see. I'm looking
Oh
like he's like, never
God.
mind, I forgot you can't see. Like, you more petty than your damn
Oh
mama, bro.
shit. Oh
He's like,
shit.
Dad, you ain't see the wall? He's like, never mind. He was like, I
You
forgot
know
you
what, Dad?
can't see. I'm
My
looking like,
bad.
man,
Bad joke.
yeah, man. Like my son, bro. Like, man, you petty than a
He said,
motherfucker, bro.
"Never mind."
When
Oh God, that is fucking
you say it all
hilarious.
shot like that, you didn't see that? You can't, oh, never mind.
He's just like nonchalant. Like, hey, Dad, you didn't see
Yeah.
it? Oh shit, never mind.
Like I'm trying to not step on your goddamn toys that you got all on the floor, and I forgot the wall was 5 inches this
Oh
way versus
God.
that way, and I ran into it.
Oh shit.
Like, God
That
damn,
is
bro.
so fucking funny. That's hilarious.
Like walked right into that bit. You watch them videos when the glass be clear as hell, motherfucker walk through thinking
And
that
they walk
it's
into like
open and
the
walk. That's how I
sliding
walked
door,
into the
the
wall, bro.
sliding door. That's a perfect example
Yeah,
of that
man.
sliding door, man.
I'm like, God damn, bro. I knocked my head and shit. Like, and he was like, Dad, you didn't see it. Never mind. Forgot you can't see. Like, man, fuck out of here.
I'd be like, man, if you don't sit your motherfucking ass. Oh
I was
shit.
telling Gary earlier, we was outside playing soccer. And usually I just be fucking around with him, playing with him and my daughter. And he be scoring little
Mm-hmm.
points and shit. Today, I kicked his ass. He got mad as hell. He was like, Dad, if you don't let me win, I'm not gonna help you see no more. And I'm looking like, so what? I got a daughter now. She can help me see. Like, no, you getting your ass kicked today, boy. He was crying like a motherfucker. I'm like, that's what you need to learn how to lose. God damn it, it's gonna make you better. I was kicking his ass today. I
Nah,
thought I
as
was
you should, as you
Ronaldinho.
should, you know.
Man,
But nah, Red man, it's this, just being back up here amongst you on the panel and talking shit to those in the chat. That means a lot to me, bro.
I appreciate that, bro. I mean, it mean a lot to me, man. Y'all be humbling me. Like, just even, I don't, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't talk to a lot of people in real life, bro. Like, I was walking my son home from school today, the neighbors talking, and I'm looking like,
Hmm.
I gotta be polite. I gotta remember what my wife say. Be nice. I don't want to fucking talk to you. But when I do, I like talking to people who I can have like intellectual conversations with. Where we, like you said, we can agree to disagree. I can have my point of contention. You can have
Facts.
yours, and we ain't fighting and arguing like random ass people. I don't know what to expect, so I'm straight, bro. I'll be like, I'm straight, bro. Because most people they speak from how they feel versus how they think. That's one of the things that annoy me, bro. I don't really care. I'm not asking you how you feel about nothing. If I ask you how you feel, how you doing, that's one thing. But if we talking about something, a subject or something, I want to know how you think because facts don't change, but your feelings do. Your feelings change, but facts ain't gonna change, bro. Them bitches go stay the same.
I figured.
You
Yeah,
tell you laughing
exactly.
at me. I say I kicked his ass. It was like 38 to 5 or something like that. 38. It was a lot. I don't even think he got the 5. I was kicking
Hey,
his
that
ass. He was mad
38,
as hell,
that's one of
crying
them
and shit.
numbers too.
38.
That's one of them numbers, man.
Mm-hmm.
The square root of something. But nah, man, like I said, I know when I come over, I'm gonna be bullshitting sometimes for the majority of, but everything is cool though. For those that we've had concerns about and don't know anything, we end up having, getting word back that everything was all right, man. Life worked out, this, that, and other. Because this slavery shit was not by far, it was not a way for me to kill a pig. Just, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm in the barn. It was like, I don't know, bro. It's so hard to explain, but it's so simple at the same time.
Like, just think about, our conversation about Charlie Kirkland, right? We felt different
Hmm.
about it, but we wasn't insulting one another. Like, you start hearing people like talk about things they have different opinions of. They start doing the ad hominems instead of attacking the point. They start attacking the person. They start gaslighting, doing all that bullshit. You know, um,
Hmm.
like to me, like that's not intellectual. And I don't. Once a person get there, is like I'm done. We can speak upon the fact. You ain't got to try to insult me. I know what you're doing, and the shit is boring to me. Like, don't try to emotionally trigger me. That shit
Hmm.
is like to me is like that shit is boring, and that's what most people do, bro. When they wrong or they can't prove their point or they don't really have no premises to stand on, then they get to that. Well, let me just trigger this person, and then like nah, bro. That's kid shit to me, man. Let's just talk, and if we come to a point where we can't agree, then I'm saying that shit. We just don't agree.
Know
You
what
feel the
know
way
what the or know at least know what it is you don't agree with. That's about. Know what you're not agreeing. Not know what you're not agreeing about.
right.
Instead of just making shit up in your fucking head, man.
Like shouts out to Missing Mod, man. I be listening, to like her panel and some people that she recommended, and it'd be like some smart sounding motherfuckers, bro. They be sounding stupid in the motherfucker, bro. Because soon as you don't agree with what they say, then they start commenting. Oh, you're just stupid,
Hmm.
or you're just this. And I'm looking like, bro, no, they just don't agree with you, bro. And you can't articulate yourself because you read a fucking book and you regurgitating it. You
Yeah,
don't really know the shit. That'd be the
you
problem.
can't. You
People don't be
can't.
knowing what the fuck they talking about. That's why they get mad as hell when they can't explain themselves or they can't. You ever hear somebody say something smart, but when you say, "Oh, we'll say it in a different way," they can't articulate it. No, that's because they regurgitating shit. That's like the first level of
Mm-hmm.
intelligence is remembering shit, bro. You just remembering something somebody else wrote, bro. You ain't smart. That shit irritates me though. But I'm gonna stop talking about that. That's that group thinking shit again. That's why I don't debate religion. 'Cause most people don't know that shit, bro. They don't. They don't know it, bro. It's not known. Like when I say know something, bro, like most people can't tell me why the New Testament is solely written in Greek. They can't tell me that. That's because the Greek people wrote it. It's fucking common sense. They writing about some shit ain't got nothing to do with it. Make that make sense. Fuck you telling somebody else's story, bro. Made it your own. I ain't gonna start on that shit. I get the preaching up in this bitch.
Now that's funny. 'Cause I'm finding myself as interesting as our conversation has been. Then there's this little lap, and I hear you stop talking, but I can't respond. Yeah, I just not necessarily bought one, but yeah, we pay a lot of money. And then somehow I hear you say something. It reminds me of being back in elementary and junior high, where I would go to sleep in class, and the teacher would try and catch me asleep by waking me up saying, "Hey, Shep, why don't you read?" So I'm like, "Okay." It was just crazy because now I'm back into the fold.
Shit, I just got a drink. You talk about me putting you to sleep. I had to go get some more fucking coffee. Cause I was sitting here, I'm trying to
Shit,
turn this mic. I'm trying to turn your mic up. I'm turning my mic up. I'm
well,
listening
you
to you,
gotta
and I'm
also
like,
remember,
God damn.
motherfucker, as
Shep got that
anybody knows,
bedroom voice going on.
it's
He
it's
see ladies in
past
the
my
chat.
bedtime too.
Nice. Shep see the ladies be like, yeah, so
It's like super
yeah.
past my bedtime. That's crazy.
You
Tay's the
gotta
only
get his.
female. Okay, Didi, my bad. But I was gonna say Tay's the only lady I see in the female in the chat. And yeah, I can give a damn with it. No, I'm just playing. I gotta fuck with my girl Tay. But nah, man, our shit has always been interesting. And anytime we interact with each other, it's always, well, the shit I be saying, you be stupid. That's just really who I am. I'm a silly motherfucker that see shit and wonder why the fuck did this pass through my fucking timeline or whatever. No, gotta send this to somebody else. So it's a group of you motherfuckers that be getting the same shit all the time. And then I mix it up and throw some shit in and be like, oh, this some serious shit. You might want to pay attention. But I never let you know either way. But man,
I
it's
was trying to
always a
wait
pleasure.
for
Go
I was
ahead.
trying to wait for my homeboy from Ohio to come on. I told him I was gonna pop on tonight. His ass don't wake up until 3 o'clock. His ass probably listening, but I'm about to get my ass off here too, bro. I already sound you already I
Shit,
can already
man,
hear
look
your
here.
ass about to go to sleep.
Man, as soon as I get out this bit. But I
Mhm.
just
That was a
like I
good
said, I
conversation, bro.
appreciate you
Look, that conversation was so good. We said fuck the video, bro, and kept talking. That's the type of shit I
no
like,
real
bro.
shit. Real shit.
Yeah,
And
like
still
shit.
didn't
We
stray
we
away from the content of
ex-
not too far
ex-
anyway.
went straight away because we showed individual thinking. We became an example of what not to do on how shit should be done. Like man, you
Right.
like if people like bro, if people listen to us, they probably think like shit, we cousins or neighbors, so like we done hung like
Right,
physically
right,
hung
right.
around each other, but and that's how it could be. Even though if we have opposing thoughts, I mean, shit, we can respect one another to share it and move on from it,
I'm
move on
not
to
I'm
something
not
else.
gonna I'm
You know
not
what I'm
gonna
saying?
say fuck you, fuck your life, because I don't agree
Right.
with something you said. You know what
Yeah.
I
And
mean?
that's what
Because
a
at the
lot of
end of the
people do,
day,
bro. That shit crazy.
man, I don't be understanding it, bro. I really and truly don't. But I know that I have a purpose here on this planet. Just like, you know what I'm saying, other people have a purpose. It's just up to those other, not the, it's up to people to try and figure out their purpose instead of just existing. But I feel like once we all, which is probably won't be in my lifetime, but if it is, once we can all figure out what our purpose here now and what I'm saying forever, as far as being on this planet, once you get it understood, then ain't nothing to it but to, what I'm saying, get down and do it. And
If
some
you
people just
do up,
don't have that. They just don't have it in them to get up and do their own thing, man, because it's needed.
you need to be led, bro. I always said most people are like sheep, bro. They need to be herded.
Hmm.
But then you need herders too. I ain't interested. They tried to make me a herder. I'm straight. I don't like sheep. Unless
Oh
I'm getting
man,
some
my name
wool.
is. If I was to go by my last name, that mean I'd just be a herder.
Hmm. Hmm. Hey, bro, that might be. I'm a background. I'm like if you look at the uh
I
the
am a
goats and the
gatherer
sheep.
of men and things of that nature. I don't remember in totality, but I know that I'm supposed, according to my last name, more so. I'm the one that's bringing men together in the same prayer group.
Hey, bro, that might be what you do. Hey, you bring them, and I spit to them. That's it, bro. I can't. I add what I can, bro. Like you build the cult. I come be like a guest speaker or something, bro. I come guest
Hey,
speak. I
Didi,
come down to
I
my
need I
mountain.
need you to I need you to put the disclaimer out there. You know what I'm saying, for those that have to relieve themselves. Yeah, we right here.
Yeah, y'all need to
that's
get rid of y'all
that's
life savings.
funny.
Come on, through.
Even as I said, I realized, damn, this shit is hilarious.
You don't know what to do with your life savings? Come bring it to me. Man,
Well,
that shit, bro. I don't see how that shit work, bro. I really don't. But that's the product of group thinking, bro. Like you believe in something somebody say so much, so ignorantly. That's what it is. You accept beliefs ignorantly, bro. That
hmm
you don't test the shit, bro. Anything somebody tell me, I always test it to see if it has validity or not. You know what I'm saying? Is it a possibility or is it just probable? I have to know that before I
Depends on
accept it.
perspective.
Yeah, bro, I
It
have to
depends
do it.
on
But
perspective,
people,
man.
bro, like that Jim Jones quote, bro. Like people gave up their life savings, bro. People was stealing from family members and shit.
To
Like,
sit here
damn,
and
y'all
do this
going crazy.
bullshit
And
and
this
we
dude
sitting
made
here
y'all
pouring
drink
in
some
the same
Kool-Aid and
cup.
got y'all up out of here, bro. Like that shit crazy. That shit crazy. Like even that Tyler Robinson kid, if he did it, I don't know if he did it. That shit is crazy. That whole bro, that shit, I don't know, bro. That shit don't make no sense to me. That shit like spaceships and shit. This is like the modern day conspiracy, modern day
Damn.
JFK, bro. That's what this shit is because none of that shit makes sense, bro. That wasn't no fucking entry wound. Not from no 30. Not from I got a 308, bro. And when I hit shit, bro, I rip it apart with that bitch. That's a 30-06, bro. Like you hit somebody in the neck with that shit, at least the side of the neck should have came off, bro. Like, nah, bro, that shit. And then they talking about he got antimanium skeletons and shit, like the bones. Like, ain't no bones talking that shit. That shit weird, bro.
Oh, it's all weird.
That's
Definitely.
fucked up,
It's
bro.
all
They
weird.
did that dude. They did that dude dirty, man. They did that. That's fucked up, bro. They did that. They did his look, man. Ain't no black people do that shit to him. They did that. They did their people dirty, bro. His little kids in the stands and shit. His wife there, but that shit fucked up, bro.
Hmm.
That shit
I agree.
fucked up. And then they don't even give a fuck about the dude, bro. Like this was supposed to be new Jesus and shit. and y'all can't even tell the truth about how he got. Like, come on now, man. Like when it happened, and I learned who he was, I told my wife, I said they gonna make him a martyr. And she was like, "What?" I said, "What?" I
You
said, "They
ain't
gonna make him
know.
a martyr." I knew they was gonna do that shit. And 2 days later, oh, the Charlie Kirk Day, they talking about putting him on coins and shit. I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck did he do? He went and debated people, bro. Like shit. So I can be on this podcast, this streaming shit, and then y'all can put me on a coin. Yeah, make sure I got my hoodie on, bro. Get my left side. That's my best side. Let me make sure I got my hoodie on when you take my picture. Put me on the coin.
No, no. Uh,
I can do some great shit. I can debate. What y'all want to debate? Shit, I can put. Can I get $1 at least? Shit, make a $4, make a $9, and put me on that bit. A $9 bill, and put me on that bit. Oh shit, bro.
yep, hilarious, but informative at the same time. And the way I see it is those that got something out of it were also those that call themselves doing
Man,
what they did.
I,
Yeah.
I, I hope this wake white people up. You're not fucking omitted from it neither, motherfucker. They want your ass. They go knock your noodles out and say some alien did it or some crazy shit. They gonna tell you some little crazy ass white boy who like fluffies. What did they say? Like his partner used to dress up in animal suits and shit. Like what the fuck is going on here, bro? It's like some twisted ass Lifetime movie, bro. Bro, do you know how fucked up that'd be for you to get assassinated by somebody putting on animal suits and shit? Like, bro, y'all done did this man dirty. Like you gonna go down
Yeah,
and
but it all
assassinated
makes
from a
sense
fluffy.
though, word.
Bro, this shit is fucking weird, bro. I ain't laughing at the situation. I'm just laughing at how they handling the shit, bro. That shit's a joke. The way they handle that
That's
shit is a
key.
joke, bro. Yeah, yeah. That's how you keep confusion up, but you know, you don't want clarity. They want confusion. The more confusion, the more they can control the narrative. I understand
Because
the
chaos creates
psychology behind
cash, man.
it. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Oh yeah, they get it's a lot of people getting paid off of Charlie Kirk right now. That's crazy how sometimes you worth more dead than alive, huh? Like record labels, bro. Some of them artists worth more dead than alive, bro. That's what I tell people. This certain shit, bro. I'm straight. I don't even want to reach that. I don't want none of these famous people calling me trying to collab or offering me nothing. I'm straight.
hmm
I'd rather
If
deal
I
with
can't
my
even
10,
say what I
15
chose
people.
to say and anything after the venue, if that's how y'all choose to do it, then so be it.
Yeah, bro, you become. I mean, if you want to use that terminology, a fucking slave.
I'm always gonna be a 9%er, no matter where I go and where I come back. So it'd be fun to meet, mixed with the love that I know I received, those present, past, and in the future.
Mm. Bro, I try. The whole concept of like Buddhism. Like when I started studying it, it was like I had to practice it, bro. And when I started practicing, I understood. I understood why like the monks isolate themselves, and
hmm hmm
I can't isolate myself like that, but I figured out a way I can, and the more I do it, the more clarity I get. Like I can see things clearer than most people. Most time people are
Facts.
um they looking at something from a biased perspective. They
No, you
cloud it
definitely
with
speaking the
emotions
truth.
and shit, how they feel about it versus critically thinking about the shit, right? That most people are like that, and like it's hard to communicate with people like that. Um,
Hmm.
and I'm just to the point now where I don't really care. Like shit, let them look out their clouded lenses and see the world um in the rosy color lenses and shit. You can look at the world like that, but it just don't exist like that, bro. It just don't exist. But the people who want to see will see. People who don't won't. That's just how. I mean, I just had to accept that, bro. I just gotta accept that. And I'm not catering to the crowd. I can't do that, bro. I can't cater to the crowd. I can't say something just because it's popular. I'm good.
But you
I'm
know,
more
man,
like Socrates. They gonna get my ass up out of here one day, bro. That's why I don't try to talk too much, bro. I don't try to talk too much, but I do talk my shit. I gotta speak like Jesus and allegory and shit, bro. 'Cause if I
no, for
don't, they
real,
gonna get my
man.
ass up out of here, bro. The world do not like free thinkers. They don't like you thinking for yourself, and I encourage that shit, bro. I encourage that shit. But let me get my ass off here. I thought old boy was gonna come through. He'll probably come through tomorrow. But shit, I'm sitting up here. You talking, putting me to sleep. I'm listening to myself, putting me to sleep.
And so that just says a lot about me, putting my goddamn self to sleep. But nah, brother, it's been a pleasure, man. For real, I am finna take my ass to sleep though. But
Always,
salute to the
bro.
chat, and you know, those new present and those that came along. In the meantime, man, you guys have a wonderful evening.
Hey,
All
if you
right.
get some more free time, bro, come chop it up with me. You know I'm here.
Oh yeah, man. You know I do that, man. You know I will. For real shit.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
without question.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right, man. Y'all be easy, man.
You too, brother. Man, shout out to D Shep. We the sleep twins. Either I'm gonna put your ass to sleep or Shep go put you to sleep. But I'm better at it. You know, I'm better at it. So he ain't gonna take my crown. He like the prince of sleep. I'm the king. I'm the king around here putting motherfuckers to sleep. My boring ass voice. I'm the king. God damn it. But yeah, man, this was a good show, man. You know, we didn't get through the video, and that's cool. That's okay. We come back and replay it because we had a great conversation with Step up here, man. You know, that's what happens, man. You know, this ain't nothing scripted. You know, it's all freestyle. This is real. This is raw. And I'm gonna give it to you like I'm gonna give it to you, right? So shout out to Shep for helping me build the content tonight. You know, shout out to everybody who came through. Hey, each y'all. Hey, each y'all. My sister in the chat. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Man, Didi in the chat. Didi in the chat. Didi in the chat. My brother Gary Brown. Gary Brown. Come on now, man. What is it? What's going on, bro? Gary Brown. That don't even sound. Look, Gary, bust it down, bro. Yeah, man. Come on now, Gary Brown, three, whatever it was. Come on now, G. Come on, my G. What is going on with you? You know, bro, if you going through something, bro, let call me. Reach out. Reach out. I care, bro. You know, you don't gotta change your name like that because that shit lame, bro. Gary Brown, that it has no pizzazz to it, bro. Come on now, man. We can't be doing all that. You know, we gotta get you back to busting it down. Come on, I don't know why you abandoned busting it down. I don't know why you abandoned, but yeah. Who else was in the chat? Dolly was in the chat. Shout out to Dolly. I can't even scroll up no more. 755 was in the building. Shout out to Sis, man. I appreciate all y'all rocking out with. Riders was in the building. If I missed anybody, don't blame it on my heart. Blame it on my eyes. Y'all know I can't see. Y'all know I can't see. My boy Chris was in the building. Shout out to Chris. He probably listening at work. Man, I hope your night going good, brother. I hope you're safe, comfortable in what you're doing. I hope you make a lot of money tonight, bro. You know, all good vibes, man. You know, it's no hate over here, right? It's no hate. I love everybody. Even if I don't know you, I love you. You know what I'm saying? I might not like everybody, but I do love it, right? And I just try to keep it real and raw. You know, I want to be authentic, man. I don't want to fluff y'all up. I ain't trying to butter no biscuit. You know, I ain't trying to do none of that. Just try to keep it real, man. Being authentic, trying to be that refreshed. You know, being that light that you seek in the world, you got to be that light yourself, man. And that's what I do. I just be me, man. Unapologetically me. Sometimes you might like me, sometimes you might hate me. But deep down in your heart, I know you love me. I know you love me, okay? Because y'all keep supporting me, bro. And I love y'all too, man. But y'all know what I always say. Care about how you feel. These are conversations to build nation. And if I say anything that resonated with you, do me a favor, hit that share button, tell somebody, help me spread the word. But until next time, man, we out. That's all I got. That's all I got, man. I ain't got no more. But I gave it to you, right? So you got it.
And do it for the 9.
What up, Nine?
Acknowledge me!